What's up, everybody? Welcome to the NLG show. We are here on this great Sunday night, and we're a little packed down here this evening. We have a great special guest with us. Before we introduce him, how's everybody panel?
I'd rather be sailing.
Yeah, I know.
Sailing over the ocean blue.
Hang on one second, because as usual, something always is not right. And it happens every week. And so I keep forgetting. Exactly. I keep forgetting that Twitch does not take the event that you create and turn it into an actual subject or game. So right now people think I'm still playing Neo and still getting my ass kicked by that monster.
Mm. You still are.
I probably still am. I'm still getting that thing is still killing me even after I beat it.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So I'll fix that and we'll move on. And how's everybody doing tonight?
Good.
Just fun.
Excellent. Well, I want to introduce our special guest for the evening. It is an absolute pleasure to have him on with us tonight. He is the governor of gaming, and he is the co-creator, right?
Yes.
Co-creator and co-host of Console Corner. Governor, what's up, man?
What's going on, everybody? Great to be here. I'm honored to be on the NLG podcast. Watch you guys a lot. I don't get to catch you guys live all the time, but I do catch up on the shows. I was actually just watching one today. I was having a good time, so great to be here. Can't wait to talk about some games and stuff.
Yeah, man.
Welcome.
Yeah. Welcome.
We do catch you in the chat room once in a while. And Sunday nights, Sunday nights
It's
are tough but unfortunately, it's also the only night we can all get together.
Yeah.
This is like our one night when we can all get together and talk games.
What's good about it, man, is even on Twitch and YouTube and all that kind of stuff, because people say to us, I can't catch you live or whatever certain times, but you can always watch it on the playback, and that's what I always like. It's always good. Don't worry about it.
Well, yeah, and what I like about Twitch is you can rerun it. So we could typically rerun it on a night when nothing else is going on, and people can watch it live, and they can actually even get into the chat. Nobody will answer them, but they could actually put their own. It's like the comment section.
They're not listening. Come on.
Right. So, why won't you talk back to me?
Yeah.
But it's really cool because a lot of times people will miss stuff, and they forget that they can go into the video section and watch it. So in this case, it's like they're watching it live. That's really cool. Plus the video quality, man. The video quality on Twitch is just unbelievable. It really is.
It is really nice.
And it's helped us out a lot. But speaking of quality, we get a nice look at your set there behind you. And I got to tell you, man, I was a fan of the original Console Corner set, but this blows me away. Especially having your guys in the guys on the podcast or on the big screen behind you, and we're really impressed. And by the way, glad that you're back.
Oh yeah, I mean that was the biggest thing. Is I kind of did it jokingly on Twitter, and I put my foot in my mouth, and I was like, I said some tweet, Console Corner's got to come back and drop some knowledge and all that stuff. And I got bombarded with so many tweets and stuff like, yes, you do. So I was like, you know what? Everybody wants us back. Let's go ahead and do it. And then I put a lot of focus into the set and stuff. I wanted to showcase the rest of the panel a lot more than what I did previously on the show and all that kind of stuff. So I think it worked out well. I think if you all know me and watch Console Corner, it'll probably change 14 billion times. But it's all better for the show.
Yeah, They're aware of that here too. Like, hey guys, check this out. Here's
We're
what
never
I
happy
do.
Yeah.
But it's all for the betterment of what we do, right?
Exactly. It's all for the fans and everybody that watches us. I want them to have the best show they can possibly see, and all that kind of stuff. So that's where it all comes from.
Well, give us a little bit about the Console Corner, and what you guys do, what it's about, how you guys got started.
Okay, so we started our channel pretty much doing COD gameplays, which is kind of funny. We were super huge into the COD and really blew up during Advanced Warfare and stuff like that. Then, I wanted to get into podcasts, got with PTK Blam and did the shop there for a good while. Big shout out to him. He's a big fan. love the crap out of that guy. That's where it really got my start in podcasts. And then, She-Wolf came to me with an idea and was like, hey, let's do our show. Let's do it, this, that, and the other. And we decided on Console Corner, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. And it was very, like our initial statement was all about like games, like let's keep game focused, keep all the other, BS and stuff out of it. And people enjoyed the crap out of it, and it just snowballed from there. Having a great time every week doing the show, and the fans, like, absolutely, the community and everything like that is just what I love most about the show. I mean, the panel and everybody is fantastic, but the community and their feedback and everything is really what drives me and keeps me going and seeing all that kind of good stuff. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
Awesome. And when does it come on?
Because on Mondays now at 8, used to be Tuesdays, but we moved it to Mondays at 8 o'clock. I think that was a better day for all of us. Tuesdays was a little tough with people's work and other stuff going on, so we're like, let's do Mondays, and we moved it there. And the funny thing is that actually when we first started, it was on Mondays. Then we went to Tuesdays, and now we're back on Mondays. So yeah, Mondays at 8 o'clock.
I know of only other. It's tough. I'm going to admit this. It's tough. I bounce back and forth between a couple of you guys on Monday. Monday used to be like a busy podcast day, and now it's just you and Tick. And so between you and Multiverse, you'll see me like I'm like Rick Rude on WWE and WCW in the same night.
Tick's
in the left
dude,
corner,
dudes too.
being at 800 pounds, and on the right.
No, but what draws me to Console Corner is the fact that there really isn't a lot of nonsense and BS on it. It's a straight up, you guys keep things running, like oiled fashion, and it's great. Whereas over here, I get yelled at weekly.
Oh, dude, I do the same thing. Like, I think people, like, when we're doing podcasts, and I'm sure, like, yours is the same, like, we just, like, how many technical difficulties do we just have before this show? Like, with me, myself, like, trying to get the audio to work. Like, that happens every show, and I always, like, say to the panel and everything, like, if something's not breaking, it's not going to be a good show. So it's kind of like our good luck charm going forward, so.
Oh, no, it's because they tell me I talk too much.
Well, it's a podcast. You're supposed to talk. Like,
Thank you. See, this is my new best friend, the governor. So, well, it's great to have you on, and I'm looking forward to definitely talking games tonight. We got a lot to go over. So, Peter, how's your week been?
Weekends are always busy, so leave me alone. But got some gaming in right before the show, playing with Nate in some A Way Out. Fantastic game. Fantastic co-op game.
And it's free if you want to play co-op. Like, with the person who buys it, the other person.
Yeah, and if the person doesn't care about achievements, then it's golden.
Nice.
Because you can't earn achievements whenever you play the trial version. But otherwise, yeah, it's fantastic.
Have you beaten it yet?
No, I don't think we're even halfway yet.
Nice.
But we're having a blast.
Excellent. Speaking of A Way Out, Nathan, what's up, man?
Nothing much, you. I'm looking for a way out of this podcast so I can go back to playing A Way Out.
Be patient. No. If you dump now, we don't get to hear about your movie.
That's true.
And Juan, how you doing, brother?
I'm kind of beat, but it's the weekend, so it's all good. Got just way too much gaming in. Like Friday night, I didn't sleep. I played stuff throughout the whole night. Just stayed awake. So cranky on Saturday, but other than that, it's been fantastic.
Awesome. Frankie, how you doing, man?
Pretty good. Went car shopping this weekend for fun.
I know. I meant to get. You know what? I meant to get an image of it. When you get it, take a picture of it in your driveway, and we'll post it.
I will. Yeah, I'm excited. I get picking it up on Wednesday, so I got a Jeep Renegade. It's
nice.
One of those, I like the red that they did for those. It's very very sharp. So very excited about that.
Like that new car smell.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like candy apple red, or?
No, it's more like a It's called Colorado Red, but it's almost orange, but it's like a really bright red.
Never heard of Colorado Red.
Me either. I think of Colorado, I assume white, but-
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, it sounds like it looked cool in the picture, so we definitely I want to see it live. That's for sure.
Yeah,
So-
I'm very excited about it. I'm tired of. I have a dart now, so not really ideal for the
No,
the shitty winters. So
no, not really.
no, not at all.
No.
So be nice to have something higher off the ground.
Nice. All right, cool. All right, we're gonna dive right in because we got a lot to do. So first and foremost, and this is great because it's gaming related for the second week in a row. I gotta make you some sort of intro for this, Nate. I gotta get the creative juices flowing.
Oh, so just jumping right in.
Yes, we are jumping right in to Nate's movie reviews, and this is it's great because again, this one is completely game related,
Awesome.
Totally not game related, right?
totally
Totally.
not game related. So, take it away, Nathan.
All right. First off, I think this is now in one of my top 5 movies of all time. If
Wow.
that- But after you see it, you'll understand. Does Steven Spielberg ever disappoint?
Not really.
No,
No.
not particularly. AI maybe, but
Sure. But even that has its own, cult following.
very true.
So definitely, I cannot wait to hear everyone's, this is one movie that I want to see if people saw other Easter eggs that I didn't see, which I know I didn't see them all.
And this movie is, by the way, for those who don't know,
Ready Player One by Steven Spielberg directed it. He did not write it, but the guy is writing the second book right now.
I love the Iron Giant reference there.
Yeah, see, everything. I missed that movie.
So
I had the re-release when they bought it.
yeah, so quick synopsis.
Quick synopsis. Basically, let's say VR is amazing right now, and every game is basically just one game. So basically, you could say Sims, I guess. But every time they put their headset in, you just control your life whatever you want in that world. And the guy that created it dies, and he leaves 3 keys, which he calls Easter eggs, like in video games. And if you find them all, you own that place. So you instantly become like a trillionaire or whatever, the most richest man in the world. So that evil dude who just took his glasses off is trying to win over the cool people so he can control the world. So that's basically what it is, bad versus evil. But it all takes place, on the computer game. So it's pretty sweet.
There are a ton of references here. Holy crap!
Yes.
I saw
Ton.
Halo. I saw the DeLorean. I saw some Rampage.
Siberia, I never read the book, but from what I hear, it's not disappointing.
I couldn't imagine. I mean, I don't imagine you could. I'd have to look at the book to see if it. I mean, other than your imagination, this is about as good as you can make.
Yeah, I like to call the evil corporation in this the fanboys, so it's coming out at the perfect time.
Yeah.
Because the reason I liked it so much was this was all these references and stuff are back when people didn't give a shit about all that stuff.
True.
So if you can enjoy it then, enjoy it now. Just game, basically. Enjoy your life. Have fun.
Siberia says he loved the book, but he was nervous about the movie.
I think that's the case with any, book going to movie.
I guess I would say Steven Spielberg stayed true to it, according to the director. The guy who wrote the book. And what he did was he did not watch the movie before he made his first draft of the second book. That way it doesn't play a part in what the second book is.
Really?
Yes.
All right.
So
So
I can't wait. It comes out next Friday.
oh, that's right.
So please, if anyone sees it before our show next week, send it to our Twitter page.
Yeah, let us know because we'll.
Oh,
we
it's
wanna-
definitely happening.
Yeah, we'll get your take on it. So, how many out of Nate's would you give it?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 Nathans.
Nice.
Yep, 10 out of 10.
Nice.
Nate.
That is as
Pretty
good
good.
as having 10 out of 10.
It's so good that I'm seeing it again tomorrow.
Wow.
Dang.
Nice.
Are you biased? Are you a fanboy? What's going on, man?
Yeah.
I like too many video games at once. I'm a
Yeah.
fan.
Well, you definitely have it here. Holy crap. I would put this over 10 out of 10 Goldblums.
Right.
Excellent, man. Well, thank you
Oh,
very
thank
much.
you.
This is
I will-
it looks fantastic.
I can't
I'll
wait
watch
to
it
see
in
what
6
everyone
months
thinks of
on
it.
Netflix.
Oh yeah.
Right. Yeah, but you know what?
Preferences
See,
find a way.
right. This is I'd have to say this might be one that you see in IMAX. Like I could see watching that in an IMAX film.
Yes.
Especially like if you've got the rockin' soundtrack and the the IMAX
Oh,
theaters can have the big
okay.
bass
I
and
played
stuff
it on
like
our
that.
channel when I got home.
Oh, that's right, you did in our Discord room. So yeah, that's great, man. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you guys.
Oh, no
Yeah,
problem.
it looks good, man. Looks like something I want to get into.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good take.
And chat room's already kicking ass here. Guys, welcome Jeff, welcome
Thanks,
PlayStation
everyone.
Bra, and I saw She-Wolf. Of course, why would She-Wolf be watching tonight?
Yeah, right, you are.
Just keeping tabs on me.
Yeah.
Siberia, Fastback. I think I saw Coop in there, back from his trip to wherever. So hopefully WDFC will be back on this Friday night as normal. All right, let's see. Newsworthy stuff. There he is. All right. Let me get myself together here. We are going to slide into some quick news stuff. Where in the world did it go? I know I took a picture of it and saved. Where did it go? Because this is just what happens to me now. Hold on. Save. And there you are. Gotcha. All right. So, as we normally do when this stuff comes out, we do like to talk about the NPD software numbers. As everybody knows, not really big into talking about the hardware numbers because I really don't care. But we always like to keep tabs on software because, software that sells can beget other software that sells. And we always see some interesting trends in these numbers. So I always love to talk about them and get everybody's reaction to where we are in gaming in this point in time. So here is February's top 20. Now, of course, this is courtesy of VentureBeat. This is the best place I go to get them. And I believe that the single star means that there are no digital copies that are counted. And I believe the number 13 and number 19 and 17 also mean that there were no PC something or other's copy. I have to go back and look. But basically, if you see an asterisk, it means that they couldn't get digital copies of the game into the NPD numbers. So, for the second month in a row, we talked about this last month, and here it is again. Monster Hunter World is the top game of February.
It's worthy.
Hell yeah.
I know that makes Frankie happy.
Very.
And
No, he
Juan,
doesn't.
actually.
He hates
Juan's like getting hooked on this game terribly.
Yeah, no, it's a great game. It's got single and multiplayer appeal. It's got it's gorgeous on the Xbox. I'm sure it's gorgeous on other things too. But it's one of the if someone says if I was gonna have someone over and show them a game on the X, it would be near the top of the list of games I'd want to show off for visuals. This looks really nice, and in performance mode, it moves so well. So
Yes.
that's why I usually keep his performance. But yeah, I'm a big fan of that. I'm glad to see that Xbox fans are picking it up too, because I want Xbox fans to return to the days of supporting Japanese games on the console. Because I want my Japanese game. My old school Xbox had all kinds of Japanese games, and I want that again. So buy the game.
Yeah. And they're trickling in. They are trickling in. You got it. So I think we what was the one Ease is
Yeah,
coming.
Ys Origin.
Yeah, and I know that's an older game, but
Actually, no, that's actually just came out last year, I think.
Well, on the PS4, it came out on the PC a long time ago.
Did it?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought Origin was a newer one. So no, it wasn't Falcom.
Yeah, it was. Hang on, I'm looking it up. 2006 was the original release date on the PC.
Wow.
And it came out on PS4 and Vita last year, and an Xbox is coming. So, yeah, I was gonna ask the Gov about Monster Hunter World, but I happen to know a little bit about this, so we're gonna hold on that.
Yeah, but I think like Monster Hunter as a whole, like what it's doing, and I wasn't a big like Monster Hunter fan, you know, on the other platforms and stuff, but Monster Hunter World, like when I saw those trailers and all that kind of stuff, it absolutely hooked me just from the visuals alone, and from what I've seen from other people talking about Monster Hunter, the gameplay is fantastic, and that's what I'm all about. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I'll pick it up once I find a good digital sale.
Yeah,
Because probably will be added to my backlog because you know all the great games that are out right now and Far Cry right around the corner.
The other thing about Monster Hunter 2, sorry to cut you off, and I mean
No.
That's right.
is you know the huge community that's behind it. Like I posted out on Twitter, like you know I'm gonna be you know playing Monster Hunter here and there, and everybody's like, yo, you need help, you know I'll jump in, blah blah blah, and like that's a fantastic community that's willing to go out of their way and just help out people with Monster Hunter. So that's really awesome to see.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
I'm terrible
still
at
do
it.
that like in a few months from now. Then I'm
I'm still trying to figure out what this game is. Like,
It's a kind of an instanced open world game in which you are part of a group of explorers or almost paramilitary force that is, you know, moving onto this continent and researching the monsters there and trying to figure out why these really huge, epic, like continent-sized monsters are moving around. And I'm new to the series, and so you can jump in. You don't have to be a Monster Hunter fan to get with it. But yeah, it's there's a lot of kind of cool mechanics about it. It's kind of a tracking, hunting, obviously, then co-op versus huge monsters.
Mhm.
That's where I put it. Oh, and don't use the bone armor and crawl under stuff.
Yeah, don't do that. Unless you're a female character.
Maybe that'd be all right. Or if you're into the other way, but so you are whatever you're into, the bone armor is a little revealing when they're crawling. Is all I'm saying. I was a little scarred for just a moment.
I am totally wearing it, and I'm totally gonna look.
Yeah. Make sure you do it on the X for 4K.
oh man! All right. So there's your number one game. I haven't played it yet either. So like one half of this crew has played it. The other half I haven't yet. Not that I don't want to. It's just there are other things to do at the moment. So
There's really not. I disagree with you.
I figured you would.
I have other reasons why I haven't played this, and I'll talk about that later.
Yes, indeed. All right, so number 2, I don't know, some surprise maybe. Call of Duty World War II is still up there.
Yeah, it's a fantastic Call of Duty.
Only because it's February, and
new DLC and dropped out and all that kind of stuff, so people tend to hop back on with DLC and all
That's
that.
true.
This is true. This is very true. NBA 2K18. There is something magical about the NBA 2K series that just keeps going. I mean, this game does not quit. If only they could get back to NFL.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? I would definitely buy that game again.
I would go for it in a heartbeat. I haven't bought a Madden, and some of that's because of EA Access, but I haven't played a Madden in years. Even though they're free now with my EA Access, I haven't played a Madden in years. The minute I get an NFL 2K, I'm done.
Totally.
So
that's another thing with Madden. Like, how come that game hasn't gone to a subscription base? Like, I don't understand why we have to pay $60 every year for that game when it's really just a roster change and a little bit of updates. Like, that should be totally a subscription-based game at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Or just every other year and then sell a roster DLC update.
Yeah, and like he said, like little tweaks here and there. The game doesn't look that different from 3 years
but every
ago.
year they sell like a crap load though.
Because it's
It
football.
probably has a lot to do with the NFL license probably costs a crap ton every year.
There's
Whatever
Yeah.
they do too. So.
surely.
Well, and that's one of the reasons that Phil said that he didn't want to get back into sports games after so long, is that he didn't want to pay the players' association fees for the individual sports.
I disagree with Phil on this one. I want a baseball game on the Xbox. So
Well, RBI baseball's out. RBI 18.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I lived on RBI baseball back in the Genesis days, and over there on my shelf of retro games is my RBI for even the 32X, and it was all great. It's hard to bring out a game like that in this day and age, because if you don't keep up at least with the times, and they're trying this year. So this year, and I haven't had a chance to play it yet, but this year they're trying to make a little more realism in the animations and the gameplay. They've kind of brought the camera angle down to a more traditional baseball game style. Obviously, it's still not Sony Santa Monica, and there's not many are going to touch that.
Yeah.
But the only other game that we're going to get, baseball game we're going to get on the Xbox is the Super Mega Baseball sequel.
Mhm.
Now, I enjoyed the first one, but it wasn't real. It was arcade baseball.
Maybe we can use the new avatars in those.
Now that would be cool. See, I'd be all into that.
That'd be interesting.
They need to do something with them. I don't think they're just bringing them out to bring them out.
Yeah.
1 versus 100, baby.
Oh, don't
No,
tease. Don't
probably
tease.
I'm just saying that'd be a perfect use for the new avatars.
It'd be a perfect use just to bring it back for anything.
Yeah.
They should stick that in the Game Pass.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it was free. But it was free.
Yeah,
on the
no, but now
360.
you stick it in the Game Pass, and then
Then you can make a little revenue off of it.
revenue of that, and people buy Game Pass just to play that game.
Fastback says he blames his brother for supporting Madden crap every year.
Yeah.
I blame him too.
Thanks a lot, Slow Front.
Slow.
Yeah, I don't mind playing with old rosters, so EA Access is good enough.
No. And PlayStation brought would kill for new 2K. That's it to you. All right, keeping down the list. Dragon Ball Z Fighters is number 4. I don't think has any of us played that game to full.
I only played it in the beta.
I have it. I've played it a little bit here and there.
Any
I think
good?
that's why. Yeah, it's actually a really good fighter altogether. I like Xenoverse and all those other ones too. But this is another one that's just constantly getting new characters and updates too. So it's not surprising that we're seeing it so high on the list for sure.
It just keeps it. It's a franchise that just I've never paid attention to, and yet is more popular.
Wow, you
than
never watched
anything
Dragon Ball, man?
Never watched Dragon Ball.
Oh my gosh, you're hurting my soul right now.
I'm guilty too. I've never watched that. There's only so many animes I'm really into, honestly. But the game, however, is my first Dragon Ball game, and it's pretty great. It's even just in the beta. I mean, there were obvious beta issues with matchmaking and crap like that, which I believe they've got ironed out. I haven't heard many complaints about it anymore. But the gameplay itself was fun to pick up and visually amazing. So yeah, no, it's pretty sweet.
I've got it on both consoles, so still haven't played it, but I have it. That's Monster
That
Hunter.
backlog getting big.
Yeah, exactly. All right, number 5, the game that will not die.
Skip it. We
The
don't
only
care.
time it will die is when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh man!
It's
All right.
completely
The other day,
irrelevant.
I
It
forgot
is
what it was.
totally irrelevant. That game. That game is beyond irrelevant, and it's there's just no time. No, I just
Yeah, but so at the risk of, they just brought out racing.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
And banned a bunch of players.
and banned a bunch of players. I mean, they keep putting content into the online.
Well, I mean, because they print money with the online,
Did
and it's irritating because I liked their single player, campaign DLCs like the Battle of Gatoni and the Lost and Damned. or
Lost
whatever
and Damned, so good.
It was so good. You're never going to see anything like that again because it's crap. it's all they just abandoned it, and I get it. They're making more money with this than they would with something like the Lost and Damned, but shit.
Games as a service, brother. Welcome to
It is the original games as a service. It is it is the mother of games of services at this point.
It's what everybody else looks to.
They're printing those shark cards.
Yeah.
Ka-ching.
Yeah, talking about a game that's just lasted as long and printed as much money as humanly possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't even. I mean, when does? Hold on. I'm
It's a
just
perfect heist.
hold on, because I really want to see now. This game was released. Ready? This game was released originally in November 2014 for the PS4 and Xbox One. 2014. It is now 4 years later, or coming up on 4 years later.
But it was released on the 360 as well, right?
Yeah, it was on the old John
That
too.
was in 2013.
You gotta go way back.
That was in 2013. I'm not even counting that. I'm counting the time that it has been,
Yeah.
and it is at number 5. 4 years later. I mean, it's an amazing phenomena. It is unlike anything I think we've ever seen.
The other good thing about like Grand Theft Auto doing, I mean, as well as it's doing is they're getting all this revenue and money in, but that's all that money can go into the other games that they're going to be producing too. So it's a win-win. I mean, keep making that money, keep making fantastic games like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except Juan will never see Grand Theft Auto 6.
Yep.
So
I actually fear a little bit for RDR2, honestly. RDR2 single player may not be what people think it's going to be, because are they actually going to invest in it really big, or is it just going to be kind of to get you in and get you going on the RDR online so they can print cattle cards or what the fuck they'll do?
That conversation with that game is definitely a conversation to have. I mean, they're definitely looking at their Grand Theft Auto 5 and what can they do to implement that into Red Dead as well. I mean, it's
maybe that's why they delayed it.
I don't know. I think
I think they just delayed it to F with all the other publishers.
Pretty much.
Everybody's moving their stuff, and they're like, we'll just move it again.
Let's troll the other guys.
Right. Well, they got Activision to move Call of Duty this year.
Yeah.
That's saying something.
That is. I mean, there aren't many games that would move out of the way that Call of Duty would move out of the way for. So the fact that
I don't think there's any other game that they would move out of the way.
I can't think of any. But Red Dead Redemption, I wouldn't say they're afraid of, but they are certainly cognizant of that game.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
No. All right, coming in at number 6, Shadow of the Colossus. Glad to see that's still in the top 10.
Was it in there? I mean, it seems like it came out of nowhere again, but was it in there last month?
I don't remember. I didn't keep January's.
Just came out last month.
Yeah.
That may be why. If it came out in February.
Did it? Oh, maybe it did. I mean,
Yeah.
I picked it up, but
Feels like forever ago, right?
yeah.
I know.
I mean,
No, yeah, so it wasn't in last month, so
it ends up in my backlog, and it was like, kind of don't remember
don't remember when it came out.
when it came out.
No. All right, number 7, UFC 3. Whatever.
I really enjoyed one of the UFCs on EA Access. I mean, I got all into it.
Was it the one with Ronda Rousey?
No,
right,
it must have been previous to that.
All right, then that would be the first one.
Yeah, I made a super dumpy boxer guy. Had no ground skills, no nothing, just like a Tank Abbott kind of dude.
Yep. I know.
And it was fantastic. It was so enjoyable.
Honestly, I think the best UFC games were the ones THQ made. I miss THQ so much.
I don't think I've played any of those, but I would give up the next UFC for a fight night.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yes.
That is a franchise that needs to come back.
Yeah, I don't know why it doesn't. Of course, now with all the Rocky movies coming back, Creed, and I know they're making the sequel. They need to bring that back You need to bring Rocky back. Make Rocky the next fight night.
Was that the game that I played on the ColecoVision with the
Yes.
with the buttons and the bit trigger thing?
Yes,
that was amazing.
That was amazing. And then it came out on the Master System. Yeah.
I had that on there.
Ah. Great. All right, number 8. Pint to Rick.
Yeah.
Kingdom Come Deliverance coming in the top 10. I'm so happy for them.
Yeah, that's
Man,
good.
What a spectacular game. That is well deserved to hit the top 10 this month. I say to Rick, dilly dilly.
Yeah.
Gov, have you hit Kingdom Come yet?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I have not.
Oh my God.
It's like for my reasons for Monster Hunter is the same reasons for this game, and we'll get into.
Okay, all right. Well, when we get to that, you'll come back and you'll mention Kingdom Come Deliverance. All right,
sure.
Number
It's
9.
waterproof, and when you do get to it, just let me know when you hang out with Father Godwin. When you get to hang out with Father Godwin, you're gonna be like, "Oh, that's the one Juan told me about." I had time because Father Godwin is the man. Like he needs a spin-off. I want like the
Father Godwin the game.
I'm
It'll
serious.
be a very raunchy game, though.
I want Father Godwin's origin story so bad.
That could be DLC.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Written by Juan Gallardo. All right, rounding out the top 10, Mario Kart 8 and Super Mario Odyssey, which also has significance to tonight. And interesting, we have 3 platform exclusive games in the top 10, and 2 of them once again are Nintendo Switch. Nicely done.
Well, you pick up a Switch and you pick up those 3 games.
Yeah, I still need to. I don't know if it's just I don't know where I would play it. I don't know how I would have the time. I really wanted a Switch. I kind of still do.
Switch is fantastic.
I just don't know where I would play it. I guess if I took more business trips.
Yeah, I mean,
I just don't know where. I just don't know where I would have time for it. I can't take it to work.
I only play it when I'm going on vacation and on a trip. I mean, that's only
true when you go to
devote to it.
When you go to Great Wolf Lodge.
Yeah, exactly. It's coming with me.
Yeah, Juan.
Well, it used to be where I work. I could have maybe gotten away with having it, and then between what I do at work, at downtime, having it there. But nowadays I can't, and I tried just taking it for lunch, but it makes lunch go so fast. Like I'm there for 10 hours, and I put the Switch on, and my lunch is over 2 minutes later, and then I start my next 5 hours. I just can't have it, so I'm not using it mobile as much as I thought I would. Really, the primary thing I would use it handheld for is if the wife wants the TV. Like that's why I'm gonna undock it, is if she doesn't want to watch whatever I'm playing. But going back to the numbers here, number 9, Mario Kart there, I still think Mario Kart's the best thing on it right now. I mean, as far as like big titles go, there's a lot of smaller stuff that's cool too, but as far as like the the big heavy hitters, Mario Kart really is amazing on it, and I think the best thing it has to offer right now.
Interesting. I would have to say like Mario Odyssey is for me, and going back to like where would you find time for the Switch and all that kind of stuff. I kind of had that same dilemma too, because I have PS4, Xbox, PC, all that kind of stuff. I play a lot of games on, but where I find the time for the Switch is like when I don't really feel like getting into like a major game on those other consoles and platforms. Like it's really nice for the Switch. Like you could jump into Mario Odyssey, play a couple of levels and stuff like that real quick, and then sit it down and then go on to something else. Like I find myself doing that more and more than just sitting down and playing hours and hours with it. And it's also nice, you can lay in bed like right before you go to sleep and all that kind of stuff and play a little bit and then just toss it.
Oh yeah, no, I was
play ways to leave for that. When I go to bed, I close my eyes and I'm out because Nate keeps me up late.
Yes, he does.
Oh, my fault.
Yeah, it's all good, man.
Nice.
So good. We're having a blast.
I did use mine from bed quite a bit, but then when I got the X, my Xbox One made it up to the bedroom TV, and so I've got that going there. And then now, thanks to Brent, I got the KCD, going from bed, so I can do that now. And it's that's currently the bedroom game is the KCB. Probably overshare there a little bit, but yeah.
Well, see, the interesting thing about my house is, for whatever reason, I don't know if she thinks there's ghosts down here or what, but my wife never comes down into what has now just simply become my level of the house. So I don't have this issue. I always have access to this television. I always have access.
I gotta tell you, man, that's a good problem to have, bro.
Yeah. Except when I want to play, I have to wait for her to go to bed, and then I have to come all the way down here and turn everything on. And sometimes I'm like, let me just watch Storage Wars and fall asleep.
You know, I hear like so many couples and like one's a gamer, one's not really a gamer, and all that kind of stuff. Thank you, She-Wolf, for being such an awesome gamer.
Yeah.
I don't have these
No
problems.
doubt.
I'm jealous, man. Because
No
my wife
doubt.
doesn't play games at all.
I'm about as close as you can get for someone who's not a non-gamer, because mine likes to watch games played, and we'll
see
play
that.
some of the other stuff, like some of the Xbox Live Arcade titles from back in the day, like your Carcassonne. We call it Cockroach. What was the other one?
Overcooked? You play that?
Oh well, she liked Overcooked, but kind of. It stresses her out. She don't take so much
It
Overcooked.
does stretch you.
It's
I love Overcooked.
why is it on fire? Oh my god!
The last one I got my wife to play was Lovers in a Dangerous Space Time.
Oh, nice.
That's such a good game.
Hexic 2. She loves some Hexic 2.
She used to play a lot of like
Hexic.
what is that? Zuma.
Zuma.
Yeah, she used to play a lot of that. I watched her play a long, long time ago on the OG Xbox. I watched her play Abe's Odyssey.
Ooh, nice.
I've
Good game.
never heard that woman curse.
My wife, I think the last game she touched is going to be our retro rig for tonight.
Cool.
So,
The missus, I got her back in the day. I got her a GBA SP.
I still have one of those.
So she loves some WarioWare, things like that. But I think probably her greatest gaming achievement was on that. She beat the port of all by herself. She beat the port of Link to the Past.
Nice.
So she's played the best game ever made now at this point. So
Oh man! All right. Let's see. Rounding out the top 20, Rainbow Six Siege still kicking it. God, give that game credit, man. That game has legs.
Talk about the most boring game I've ever played in my life. I mess with Destro on our show too all the time because he is like a huge Rainbow Six guy. And to be fair, that new mode, the Chimera or whatever it is fantastic. I thoroughly enjoy that. But Rainbow Six, the other part, I'm just not a fan. Just not a fan.
For me, it depends on who you squad with. It can be fun if you've got the right people around you.
Yeah, like me, it's not a person thing really, because I got a lot of really good friends that are really good at the game, but it's just the gameplay is just super slow to me. It's very tactical, and I'm more of the Call of Duty run and gun style. I'm not really into the whole like sniping and all this other kind of stuff, and peeking around corners. I like to run into the middle of everything, and if I die, I die. If I'll take them all out, like whatever. That's my play style. I think it's more of a me problem than it is the game problem. But
those problems exist. I have a me problem with Witcher 3. So I know it's not the game's fault.
yeah,
It's never the game's fault. No, I hear you. I mean, I'm the opposite way. The only game that I really ever enjoyed running and gunning in was Titanfall, and the only reason that I did was because the Titans were somewhat of an equalizer and didn't make me feel like I just sucked at life. I mean, as I get older and my reflexes slow down, I can't play, Doom style Twitch anymore. So
it's my favorite.
Rainbow Six kind of appeals. Those kind of games appeal to me. The Ghost Recon Wildlands, the Rainbow Six Siege.
So what you're saying is Rainbow Six is for like old men.
Yes, it's for us older guys that can't function as well. We are more tactical than we
I
are.
am going to fight that till the day I die. I'm just gonna say it.
Just wait. Just wait till you're cursing a whole room full of 20-year-olds going, hell am I shooting you with 20 bullets and you hit me in the head once and I'm dead?
Well, currently, I'm still pretty good at like Call of Duty and stuff, and I can handle those 20-year-olds right now.
Just
Eventually,
wait.
I might get to that point.
Just wait.
But
still hanging
COD playing hardcore, it's like one shot and you're dead. So
Yeah.
these guys can jump all they want, and you hit them first. That's the end for them.
I empty another cartridge into them and they didn't die.
Don't get me done. Don't get me started on bunny hopping. All right, I'm just gonna knock it out.
That's like, jeez.
Then I'm going, well, all right,
I thought
fine.
it was
Why
boots on
can't
the ground, but you
Right.
see him like hopping, and it's like 50% there, 50% on the ground.
Yeah. Why
Or
can't
I guess
I?
Titanfall or something.
Why can't I rocket jump?
Yeah,
I don't
right.
know.
Arena days.
Yes.
Where's my flat cannon?
Where's my flat cat? Yes. Oh man, days of setting up. We had my buddy and I at work bought we went in halves on an OG Xbox and we set it up. We hid it in the server room, and that was our Unreal Championship server.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, back when you could do a dedicated server if you had the equipment. So we left it there, and when we left the office, we turned it on, and when we came in the
that's so
morning, we
funny.
turned it off and made sure our bosses never found it.
Nice. And we set up when we were playing like Ghost Recon on PC way back when. We set up like a TeamSpeak server that we were using in the office. That's cool.
Yeah.
Those were the days.
Good stuff. See, in the Marines, we did it by moving everything to the common area in the barracks. We had like 12 computers set up, and we'd squad up for tribes and just dominate because we had communication.
Heck yeah.
Of course, I'm still going to be owning 20-year-olds when I'm playing from the nursing home, so I don't have that problem.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, good luck. I'm just saying. All right, so number 12, also not a surprise. Legend of Zelda still hanging in there. 13 is PUBG.
Yay.
Yeah,
This is still selling.
still selling. What are they at? They were at 4 mil last time we talked, right, on the Xbox?
They've crossed 5.
They've crossed 5.
Yeah, they did a thing, and their players got a commemorative jacket in the game and such.
You will be happy, Juan. I thought of you as soon as this happened. I'm teaching Sunday school this morning, and I got like the 10th grade class, and they're sitting there, and I walk in, and I'm wearing a shirt, and one of the kids says, "Mr. Mike, is that a Sea of Thieves shirt?" And I said, "Yes, it is." And he got to talking, and somebody mentioned Fortnite, and one of the kids said, "Man, Fortnite is trash." And I said, "Wait, what? I have not heard this from a child yet." He said,
Right.
"Man," he said, "it's trash." So we went on. So I said, "I have a friend." I said, "that calls it Tide Pod PUBG," and he was like, "Why?" I said, "Because anybody who plays it is the same kids that are eating Tide Pods," and the whole class just busted out. It was
Awesome.
so.
That's what I'm talking
I
about.
thought of you when I heard a child of all things, a teenager, say that Fortnite was trash.
Trash.
So it does not happen often. So
No, the kids love it.
the kids love it. So anyway, Bayonetta 2, another Switch game, hitting the top 20. And there's our dreaded Madden, number 15. There it is, Gov.
Yep.
Game won't fucking die. Yeah, trash. Assassin's Creed Origins at 16. I'll take that. FIFA still kicking strong. I haven't played it yet, but I have actually. I mean, I keep hearing that it's the best FIFA yet, and it is using Frostbite. I am curious as to see how that works.
I think I hear that every year about FIFA. It's like, it's the best ever. It's the best ever.
Yeah, but they actually do. I mean, it's soccer. It's the same game too. Think about it.
Yeah, I mean.
It's the same game. So, but actually, I mean, the thing about 18 though was they did switch engines. Like this is not like Ed Madden. They actually switched entire friggin' game engines and brought Frostbite into it. So, which is why it runs on my toaster upstairs. Number 18 is Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet. I'll let anybody who knows anything about this. Frankie?
I have no idea.
That's an anime series, so
Yeah.
I just know it's based on the show.
All right.
No clue.
All right. The Sims 4 is number 19 and number 20. Star Wars Battlefront 2. I am actually surprised.
I am surprised about that
Yeah.
too. With all that backlash and everything. Whew.
Star Wars, man.
I thought it would have been in a
Yeah.
vault by now, but
It's also a pretty damn good game.
I give it by E3. One of the E3 announcements for from EA Play. I'm sorry, not even E3. EA Play announcement will be that it is it'll
Going
be
to
in
the vault.
yeah, it'll be in the vault. So
I'll check it out then.
yeah,
I
so
just
will
recently
I.
got my subscription back.
I'll check it out too. I'm just not paying money for it right now. There's just
I
too
had
much
canceled
of it.
my access after Andromeda, but I got it back before I picked up A Way Out.
The way out.
I'm waiting for that too. And that's the thing about EA Access is I love it because I can wait.
Well, like the $3 that I saved on A Way Out paid for the first month of access.
Well, yeah, and so that's the thing about the Game Pass that's lovely for me is that next month when God of War comes out, I'm good because I didn't have to spend $60 on Sea of Thieves. I didn't have to spend I don't have to spend all this money in these games I want to play, and so because
No Far
there's
Cry?
Far Cry is not my game. Now, if you want to talk Far Cry. 2 squares over to your right. Nate. Nate.
Nope, I'm not talking yet. I have one more day, and I will not be thinking about it because I need to finish A Way Out, and I'm super excited for that game. But man,
yeah,
I
so
just
let's
no, I don't want to bring it up. Nope. But no, I'm super excited. Comes out tomorrow at 9, I think, for GameStop people.
You don't know this, but that's actually a green screen. Nathan's camped out in front of GameStop waiting for the game.
Exactly.
Nice.
And also doing my fantasy baseball draft at the same time.
There you go.
So, by the way, since we're talking about all this great EA stuff, just a very quick EA Play this year is June 9th through 11th at the Hollywood Palladium, where it was last year. And nowhere to be found at E3. So, actually, sorry we couldn't get you on last week. We were talking about Microsoft's E3 gamble that they're doing.
Yeah, I was watching that.
So, while I'm pulling up the next quick news hit, give us your quick thoughts on that.
I think it's good from the standpoint of I think all of them are eventually going to go that route. I think it's easier for them to just like run out of space, do everything they want to, control their messages for their games. It's going to be better for fans, and when you historically look at like E3, it's all about like press. And I know there's a lot of like pushback about it's not here, it's not there, and I understand that. But if you look at it from a standpoint of if they all do their own little things around the area, yeah, you might have to do a little bit of traveling, but I think it's all in all going to be better, even for the press. Like, you won't have to stand in lines. I mean, some of them do get to go ahead and, and schedule all these things, but I think it'd be a lot better for everyone in the long run. I mean, more space, more area to try these games out. I think it's going to be overall a good thing. I think it's going to be better for, E3 and keep it relevant for a little bit longer.
Well, after this, they've got 2 more years, because that's when I've predicted they're going to
You
heal.
think they're going to go away or just...
Yeah. I think it's either. I think you'll.
I think it's going to go more Gamescom, man, than
yeah?
go away.
I don't know. I thought, and we talked about this last week. I thought that Microsoft moving out of the E3 floor, except for their mixer stuff, was their 1 foot out the door from E3 itself. I mean, EA's already doing it.
Yeah.
Nintendo's got a booth, but they don't have a press conference.
Yeah, I mean, they've been doing that for a while, though. I mean, I think it comes down to, like, really, like, how much money do you want to spend? I mean, these guys spend a crap ton of money just to buy the space.
Yup.
Like, to be there. Like, and I think that's another, like, factor into it. Like, and that's why, if they're going to spend that kind of money, they could probably save money by just getting their own, like, theater and stuff and doing it that way. I really don't think it's going to go away. I think I think in the digital age and everything that we're moving to and are there now, like E3 is going to have to evolve and move along with it. And if this is the way to continue to keep E3, because I think E3 for gamers is like our Super Bowl for the year, and I think that's a reason why I don't think it's going to go away. I think that's where all the big announcements come and all that kind of stuff. I think it's just going to evolve and turn into something better overall. I hope it does stick around.
Well, I was thinking about this after we had talked. One of the things, though, is that nobody's making those big announcements anymore at E3. I mean, look at what happened last month when, or I'm sorry, not well, sort of, kind of. It was 2 weeks ago, not last month, when everybody made like a ton of announcements on a Thursday rather, and then, the last couple of E3s, Sony's press conferences had some game announcements, but then they go, well, we got more to announce at Gamescom. And then they go, well, we got more to announce at PSX. And companies are just not, it just seems like they're not investing in making E3 that way anymore. I don't know, it's maybe, I don't know.
No, I hear what you're saying, like, and I think a lot of that has to do with, the big three only having a certain amount of time to show some of these big games, and I think for some of these guys, they have to show it early to get their time to shine. Because E3, if you're not like one of the huge, big AAA kind of things that's going to be presented on like Microsoft or Sony's or Nintendo's thing, like you kind of like lost in the shuffle, and people kind of miss out, or it's briefly touched on. And I think by them releasing it a little bit early, some of these games, like they have their moment, they control their message, they get it out there before it's lost in the shuffle of the big E3 events.
I could see that.
True. I don't know. It's
just my 2 cents.
No. That's. I'm glad I was able to ask. I don't know. We'll see. I'm just not. I don't know. Maybe it's because I remember E3 a different way. It's hard.
Oh, absolutely.
It's hard for me to let go of that old E3 feel, because there's also PAX and all these other shows out there that are also taking attention away. Now, I mean, even Comic-Con. Comic-Con was never a big video game, but look at everybody. Everybody's
pushing there.
Pushing at Comic-Con. So, I mean, E3 will, if E3 doesn't fold up tent completely, it's just going to be another show, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it could get to the point where it's just another show. I think it'd still be the show, the premiere thing for everyone to gather and have a good thing. But, I mean, you got to look at, too, like, games are, like, so much bigger of a thing now than they were back, with the OG Xbox and all that kind of stuff. Like, back then, we were still kind of, like, niche, but now everybody's a gamer. Everybody's making a game. Like, if you look at, like, Nintendo every Thursday, they're pumping out, like, 10 to 12, like, indies that are going on their console like every week. Like, there's just so many games out there, and it's really tough for a lot of these games to find their place, their marketing, and getting it out there. And a lot of these guys really aren't going to put them on their big shows. Yeah, they have their indie reels and stuff, but they can't show everything. Like, there's so many games out there right now. So I think by them having these announcements beforehand, if they're not going to be on the big show, or if they don't want to wait till Gamescom, I think it's a smart move by them by putting stuff out and getting it out there. I mean, there's just so much time that they can get out there. So
True. Well, and again, speaking of early and quick news, this will make some people happy. Hellblade today finally got confirmed. Now, it was kind of didn't it show up on a Korean Amazon list or something like that? It showed up somewhere.
Ratings board somewhere, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden today, Ninja Theory tweets it out. I could not get the trailer for it because the trailer was Twitter only, and I don't know how to download a Twitter video. But April 11th, so I mean right around the corner, and fully X enhanced.
Yep.
So
3 modes, baby.
yep.
Yeah, what frame rate was the PS4 version? Was it locked
I
at
don't-
30?
I think it was just 30.
Even on the Pro?
I don't know about the Pro. I don't have a Pro, so
I have the game, but I don't know.
I think the
Haven't
Pro
played it.
had options.
Okay.
yeah, I want to say it probably did too.
Okay.
I had a couple of.
Because as long as it can hit 60, that's incredible.
Well, yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like, I played Hellblade on the PC. I didn't have a PS4 at the time when Hellblade came out. I got it on the PC. When you're playing through the game, you can't really sprint or anything, and like certain parts of the game, she's very slow moving, and the only part there where it's really kind of like fast paced is in these action sequences where you're fighting these guys and stuff like that. But all during the puzzles, you're kind of locked down to one speed. So I mean, if it had a high frame rate, you really wouldn't be taking advantage of it anyway. So I mean, it's not really a big deal to me.
We'll check it out when it comes out and see how it stacks up against the PS4 version. I'm sure it'll be perfectly fine. And I know I don't know where he is. I haven't seen him in the chat room in a few minutes, but Beaver Believer, Super Cooper, he loved that game.
Hellblade was fantastic.
Oh, and you know, how many awards did either the character win, or I mean, it won some serious awards.
Some narrative awards and everything. I hear it has a really interesting take on almost like mental illness, so that's interesting. I know Worry also loves it and was quite happy to see more people are going to be playing it. I'm down. I'm down. I'll pre-order it, and I'll pick it up because, like Mike was saying, Game Pass frees up some money for me, and there's no reason to not support this game, I don't think.
And I think like at $30, it's an absolute steal. And I wish a lot of developers out there would take their like game building like whole thing where they were just like a AAA game at like a really small budget. I think they really nailed that, and I think a lot of other devs should take note of what they're doing over there because I think it's fantastic. I think a lot of times that some of these budgets and stuff are getting way out of control with a lot of stuff that they're doing. So, but yeah, Hellblade as a game is absolutely fantastic. If any Xbox fans out there that pick it up, I mean, you definitely should for $30. Put on a headset.
It's worth noting too. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I say it's worth noting too that Xbox fans will be able to pick it up for 10% off if they pre-order or pick it up on the store the first week. So not even $30.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely put a headset on. I think that adds to the immersion, especially in the whole mental illness part of it. Like you just constantly hear these voices and stuff, and then after a while playing the game, you're like, "Am I having these voices? Like I don't know what's going on." It's just a really creepy thing that happens in the game, and it's just really awesome. So.
Wow. Well, and I don't know if any of the X enhancements also means Dolby Atmos, but that would be an incredible upgrade.
That'd be really crazy.
Yeah. So they did also win. So some of the it won 3 game awards for best performance. It won best audio design, which plays into what you guys were just talking about. So I mean that's this will be interesting to play, and a lot of it came from the fact that I had a PS4, I have a PS4, but at the time I was playing other stuff. Sometimes these games just get missed, and when they come back around, one of the things that we all talk about what draws us to consoles. Well, I love both of them, but what draws me into playing as much as I play on the Xbox over the PS4 is the fact that every one of you I can talk to while I'm doing that. I can be in a party and hang out with you guys even while we're all playing different stuff. And I know and I'm not taking that, I'm not saying the PS4 doesn't do that. I'm just saying for the friends that I have, that whole thing about, going where your friends are is kind of real. So getting at some point I may not get it out of the gate because there's just too much in the backlog. But this is one that's on my radar and was on my radar when it came out for the PS4. I just never got around to it. I was going to get it at some point, and now I'll just get it here. And it does. The other reason is because it also, when I get my 4K TV, I'll be ready for it. It does support HDR, and the 3 enhanced modes are enhanced visuals mode, which with extra special effects and visual quality, high frame rate mode, which runs the game at 60 frames per second, and high resolution mode that runs the game with dynamic resolutions up to 4K. So. Whatever that means, it means dynamic 4K.
More PSAM.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just dynamic 4K. I mean, I can tell you, like, just running this game on the PC, it's murder on GPU, so I'm not surprised by that at all. It still is a fantastic-looking game no matter what.
Okay. Cool. All right, let's get to the next. So we're going to get to a couple of our back-end segments here, And just so you guys know, I'm working on ways to introduce these. I just don't have them yet. It's been a busy time, and honestly, I have no creativity, so I may have to get some help. But our first segment we're going to talk about, I want to do it in reverse because one of the big segments we're going to talk about is about a game. So we're going to go into the backlog is real. And so what we do in this segment is...
It is?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And I got almost everybody's... Did you give me one, Nate?
No, I did not.
You did not give me
I don't have a backlog. What are you talking about?
Well, you know what? Since you got to do the movie segment, you can hang out of this one.
Yeah, before you totally move on, Brent's watching the show. I think he's probably working on something. But he loves Hellblade and said that Pro does have a 60 frames mode.
Excellent.
Nice.
Okay, I kind of figured it had to.
Yeah. I feel bad because I bought that and never got around to playing it. But now that it's going to be...
Same here. Now it's coming on the X, so should you buy it on the X or not, you know?
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to end up buying it on the X. No
I've
shame.
never double dipped. Maybe this will be my first one. I don't know.
Frankie,
Do it all the
why
time.
do you double dip like that? Especially if you never played it on the PS4. And I'm just curious. I'm not judging. I'm just curious.
Oh no,
judging.
that's a fair question, honestly. So, like in the case of Monster Hunter, I had friends buying it on both systems. So, obviously Juan, was messaging me like, "Hey, I'm thinking about getting Monster." I was like, "Do it, yes, play it with you. It's gonna be great." So, I have Juan. I have a couple other friends who have it there, and that's typically the case with most games. Is if I have somebody to play it with. But when you talk about single player games, things like Hellblade. Honestly, now that I have the X, I'm a little spoiled, and I was talking to Juan and I were talking about this the other day, actually. But it's hard to go back.
Mm-hmm.
Even Monster Hunter, I was shocked because I have a Pro and I was playing on there for a long time, and I thought it looked really great. And then I fired it up on the X, and like my eyes melted, and I don't want to. It's hard to go back. So
yeah, the difference is for real. I play KCD now, of course, and Thieves on the Forza Horizon or Forza Edition Xbox in the bedroom, and it's playable. I mean, it's cool and everything, but then I go back and I play it on the X, and I'm just refreshed. I'm like, oh yeah, it is that much better.
Yep.
And it's
literally like going from a 360 to an Xbox One.
Yep.
Really?
In some cases, it's crazy, but
I mean, and the difference was there on 1080 too. I mean, I saw a visible difference because of the super sampling.
Mm-hmm.
It's no joke on the 1080, but then when I got my 4K HDR, it's a whole different channel. It's a whole different thing. It's a whole different ball of wax.
Samsung 75-inch is down to $1,600. I'm telling you, I'm working on trying to figure out how to light my TV on fire.
Nice, but to kind of come back to your question, the other reason for single player games, especially, I usually will pick them up when they go on sale. Because I kind of want achievements. Because there's certain games, like I get really into trophies, and I will like start getting sidetracked and go for platinum. But I feel like if I'm playing it on Xbox, I don't really have like that attachment to achievements since I'm playing on a newer profile since I got my Xbox One. So like it's cool to go through there and get the stuff for just playing the game. But I don't know. And plus I'm game sharing with my buddy now, so I like having things for him to try out that he wouldn't otherwise. So it's a lot
I
of
had that same attachment with the achievements on the Xbox versus the PlayStation. I don't really achievement hunt or trophy hunt on the PlayStation. I just play the games through.
Yeah.
But on the Xbox, I have the same attachment there.
Yeah.
Crazy.
If I had kept my my profile from the 360, it would be a different story. But I couldn't access that account, and when I went to sign up, I could get my Viper Strike tag on Xbox. I was like, you know what, screw it, I'll just start over. No big deal.
Yeah.
So, whatever.
All right. Hey, that's fair. I wish I had Frankie money. That's all I know.
I do too. gotta stop doing this. It's a terrible thing, but yeah, it's also just a reason to buy something on Black Friday, right? I mean, you have all the sales; it's hard to pass up.
Right.
Yep. Okay. Let's rock to the next segment, and so we're gonna start with the. So this is the backlog is real minus Nate because Nate has no backlog.
That's bullshit, by the way. I totally
Nate has a forward log.
Right. Nate
Usually
has a
Far
forward
Cry.
log. Nate just got
Yeah.
lazy on me and didn't pick
Far
the game.
Cry.
Right.
Nate,
All right.
just put Monster Hunter in your backlog because you're gonna go buy it from Best Buy this
Monster
week.
Hunter. Yep, Monster Hunter.
Monster
All
Hunter.
right.
Okay.
All right, there.
Oh.
Actually, you gave me one last week, so it's not like you didn't have one at all. So, okay. We're gonna start with HTK.
Hello, everybody.
HTK. This is I love this, by the way, because I know it's real, and I know that it's a series you love.
Oh, it just got
And it is. Drum roll. Ah, look, Peggy 3.
Wait, do you remember what game you picked this week?
Yes.
Yes. It's Farm Simulator 17.
Oh,
Nice.
Picked it up, I think, maybe at a Black Friday, and I still have to play it.
So, what draws you to the Farm Simulator series?
I don't know, it's just cool. I don't know. That's something.
Gameplay is kind of chill, right?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Look, you
you know
can
what this
harvest like
game
trees
does?
and stuff, and you have your cows and stuff, and
You know what this game does?
no.
It puts you in the mood.
Oh God! Oh. Well, you know,
Pretty sure it does.
you can't laugh about a game like this because so many friggin' people play Goat Simulator. So I don't want to hear anybody.
dude, no, not even close to the same thing.
No, they're not saying, but people do play the trucking sims.
Yeah, playing that on the PC.
It's not the same
American
thing, but
trucking
it's a
or
simulator.
European
I'm just saying.
simulator.
How many goats do you know that latch their tongue on airplanes and fly around a city? Or put on a mask and make people dance?
That's not my point. My point
You
is
do the
that
tongue latch on
my
the roller
point is
coaster.
that people
Ridiculous.
actually
Yeah.
play these
Funny.
types of games.
It's not the same.
It.
Not the same.
B3.
Goat Simulator's a spoof.
So, but I'm hoping to play this game this week.
Right,
And
so
my
Why
last
did you
week
not play it? Why did you stop?
because just
Call yeah,
Amount
Call
of
of Duty
games?
came out, right?
there's just too many games in my
It
backlog.
wasn't because the tractors aren't sexy. Look at those beasts.
Look at that.
No, I know. You have those big. I
I'm
forgot
serious. Machinery, man.
Big kahuna, you know.
Man, that is kind of badass.
They have one that's like huge. It's like humongous.
It's my goal to try to get you Farm Simulator 19 to stream.
Yes.
I'm working on it. Soon as it becomes available, I'm going to try to get it for you.
Oh, right.
I have
Better
17
practice.
on the Switch. I feel like that's a good spot for it.
Actually, I got an old version a long time ago on the iPad.
See, this is the perfect mobile game.
It is. I
This is
agree.
the perfect mobile game. Because all I want to do is just grow corn while I'm sitting there on my Switch. Alright, so there it is.
Yeah.
Farm
So
Simulator
hopefully I have time to play it just a little bit, maybe an hour this week. I'll stream it. And my last week's game was Halo Wars 2. So I played the tutorial, and I'm not quite sure. I didn't get the itch to play any more than after the tutorial. So who
So
knows?
did you saw the Spartans run into Atriox?
No, I didn't see any of that. I just did the tutorial, the basic and the advanced.
Okay,
and then
so
it was
you
like,
didn't even start the story
Did
yet.
you
I
launch
haven't
the...
even started the story yet, and then I was
So you
like,
haven't even
well,
seen
those
Cutter's
buttons do
motivating
again.
speech.
And yeah,
Alright. You guys can fight about that later.
You got to give the proper game a try. You
but
got
it's
Yeah.
co-op,
Halo Wars
right?
2 is fantastic.
You're going to have to play them all over again now.
Yeah, but it's co-op, right? Halo Wars 2.
Yes.
Yes.
So, if anybody wants to help me out, or I can say, how do I do this? You can give me the answer. All right,
Just
there
let
you
me know
go.
when you want to do it.
We're gonna play.
Yeah.
Alright. Juan's turn. Alright, I'm going to start with the Switch trailer because you love your Switch so much.
I do.
Man,
This
Halo
is-
War 2 is great. Yes.
Alright.
Some might even say this is the best game of last year.
Yeah, it's something.
Alright, well. What is it?
Battle Chasers Night War.
Alright, what drew you to it?
Well, I was interested in the concept, and then Santa Claus Frankie got it for me, and I started it, and I was really enjoying it, and I got to kind of a difficulty spike, which requires some grind, and something new coming out at the same time didn't work out well. So I definitely want to go back and get it wrapped up. I'm a good ways into it, I think, but it gets really, really tough, really, really quick at a certain point. And but it's gorgeous. I love the animations. Character designs are all great. Mechanics are really solid for if you're into turn-based stuff at all. So HEK, you can tune this out for a minute if you want. But no, and the character that whoever wrote the dialogue for the characters, because I believe this is all based on a comic book.
Yep.
They nailed it in my opinion.
Well, look,
Not
it
that I'm a
was
fan of the
Link.
comic book, but the dialogue is really good. The character interaction back and forth, kind of banter, really solid. So can't recommend it enough. Definitely want to head back and finish it up, and that's why it's my pick.
All right.
You gotta,
I noticed a one, man. Like two weeks in a row. Like I think last week you said Banner Saga 1 and 2 is your backlog, and then this one. And good choices, man.
Hey.
The return of THQ. Not the
I
same
fucking
THQ,
love
but
Battle Chasers.
My question
So
for THQ: What
The animation
haven't
is
they
so
bought
good.
yet?
what haven't they bought yet? Oh,
They're literally
they
buying
haven't bought
everything.
Microsoft yet.
Uh,
They haven't bought the Xbox.
Hairbrain. I want somebody to pick up Hairbrain and bring BattleTag to my console.
I would like them to go find Yuke's Creation, and I'd like them to go buy back the WWE license so that we could have like a real nice WWE
no,
game again.
no. You know what they do is they go and acquire Spike Chunsoft and just publish Fire Pro.
Oh. And then you
Yeah.
make it Fire Pro TNA Impact.
Yes, then something about TNA will finally be good.
Yes, exactly.
TNA is always good. Oh, you're talking about something different.
Yeah, sorry, we're talking about wrestling. We're talking about
I've never
Impact
turned
Wrestling,
on
which
any
has never been good ever. And
I
still
liked them
isn't.
back when they were the WWE recycling bin.
Yeah, well now the WWE is their recycling bin because they're just everybody who's in Impact just goes to WWE. They go to NXT basically. So they're like the minor leagues for WWE now. Is what Impact is. So they can't keep anybody. They can't keep. It's so horrible. I could do a whole show on why I rooted so hard for Impact and they suck. And I could do a whole show on why. So
Yep.
we won't do that because it's already almost 10:30. So Frankie, speaking of, I have yours up, coming up here. Juan will be interested in this. He might cry because it's in your backlog.
It's actually really funny. Because Juan's pick was like my favorite game of last year, and now this one.
Oh yeah.
I nearly
My
just
actual game of the year last year.
I nearly as a joke got the trailer for the original one.
Right.
You could have. That's in there too.
The outbreak can be contained. Earth can be spared.
So this is
It has to be me.
This is, of course, Prey. New Prey.
I know
Prey.
what's coming.
Great, great.
Prey.
Prey. Yeah, Prey.
Bio-
2? Prey Wannabe 2?
BioShock Dead Space.
Right.
Yes.
Bio Dead Shock Space.
Yes. This is the one where where Pete yelled at me from E3
Yes.
because I said, "Hey Pete, I thought you said Prey 2 wasn't coming out." And he said, "Why don't you pay attention, Mike? It's not the same game."
Fight the invasion.
Not wrong. But
No?
yeah.
If I
No.
can't save us.
All right.
I
So
so needed X enhancement for this game.
what drew you to it?
So, obviously, like a lot of us, I was very excited for Prey 2, and it was supposed to be coming out, so obviously, not quite the Prey 2 we were expecting. But nonetheless, the premise of Prey always, interested me, so it's something I really wanted to hop into when it came out, which I did. I actually fired up a stream for it when it came out, streamed, I think, for like a good 2 hours, just lost track of time. Went really heavy into it the first week, and then Juan and I were talking about this back when it came out, but it's if you spec your character certain ways, it becomes really hard to progress through that game. So I kind of hit a wall where I was like, all right, I should probably start over and start reinvesting in different, things. So I never got around to doing that, of course, because,
You've seen what those creatures
games keep coming out, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending how you look at it. So
Right.
haven't gone back to it yet. So now that I have the X, and going back and playing this in 30 frames is just so hard to do now. I'm hoping it gets X enhanced with a 60 frames option, and that's when I'm going to jump back into it.
Perhaps an E3 announcement.
Hopefully.
Right.
I mean,
got my fingers crossed.
yeah, they're teasing that expansion, so
were lost.
This game though has seriously really awesome side quests, which is a kind of a weird thing to say. Like, who's going to get excited about side quests, right? But they're great. They really flesh out the world and the characters. Even the characters you typically in most games would just be flushable characters. It's so good, and really, even with the fact that sometimes, depending on your playstyle, it's definitely better to spec a certain way. You do have a lot of options for how you get through stuff, and it also has one of the most amazing soundtracks last year too.
Yes.
Because of course you can't go wrong with Mick Gordon.
Never.
No. All right, and it's a good pick. It's a very good pick.
Fantastic.
All right, and now we come to last but definitely not least. It's the governor. We have, well, actually, me, but he's last but not least of the other panel. So, all right, we get yours. Interesting pick because it's kind of
Probably
new.
get yelled at a little bit.
So yours
What
is
the hell?
I told you. So mine is Monster Hunter World.
Take notes, okay?
Hey, look, me and him are in the same class.
And it to be fair, like I said before, and this was the precursor, and I didn't want to spoil it earlier in the show, and it's the same thing with Kingdom Come Deliverance. Like, I haven't played any of the previous Monster Hunter games or any of that on the DS or anything, to be fair. But then I saw these trailers. I saw Monster Hunter World. It looked fantastic. You know, I talked to a lot of people about the gameplay. It's awesome. The reason why I haven't played Monster Hunter currently is, one, this game with Kingdom Come Deliverance needs a certain amount of time, and I don't want to be, I'm going to play it an hour here, play it an hour there, because then I'm going to come back to it, I'm not going to know what's going on, and it needs the proper time and respect and everything to play this game thoroughly and have a great time with it. So that's why I've put it off for a little bit. I just don't have the time that it needs or deserves to go ahead and play Monster Hunter World. But I'm super excited. I can't wait.
When you get it, hit us up.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll crew up for sure.
Absolutely. But
Want to get toasted? We'll feed him to the new monster that just came out. It'll be great.
Pretty much, yeah. That's how that usually goes.
it's the hazing
Sacrificial
period.
lamb.
yeah, I just think like Monster Hunter and Kingdom Come Deliverance and these other games just need a lot of time, and I just don't have that time currently.
Kingdom Come needs that time. I can give you that. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
That needs time. So, but can you guys? I mean, can you, Frankie and Juan? Can you just? Is this a game you could just jump into?
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
didn't need the previous series, the previous titles in the series at all to get into this game. What I needed was someone to show me how to do the multiplayer, because it has a really kind of cryptic way to get into playing with other players and such. And it's not bad once you get the hang of it, but it's the least intuitive thing I think I've seen in any game ever. So definitely you got to hit us up when you want to do it, because it help you avoid any frustrations getting started.
Absolutely. Yeah, I went through. I played a little bit of the game, but I went to the trainer and I tried out all the weapons, because I thought everybody was like, go do that, so you make sure you find a weapon that you're really good with, and did that, and it does make the experience a lot better. You're not fighting with the weapons or whatever like that. So
I probably should have done that myself. I just I'll go with this one.
I keep experimenting. I've been doing longswords on PlayStation, but then when we hopped on Xbox, I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna try something different. So I've been using the insect glaive. I think it's pretty amusing. You can kind of pogo up and leap on top of the monster with it. It's a lot of fun.
I use the shield and the sword one because I like the to be able to block and all that kind of stuff, but also it transforms into the axe type thing and do those big hits. So if you watch me play any kind of MMO, I'm always the tank. So sword and board, that's my thing. I'm good with it.
That's what I was doing last, is a big shield and a lance, and I just would hold the shield up and poke. That's all I do. Just hold the shield up and poke. Just poke. Occasionally get wasted. But yeah.
Now I think I understand a little bit why, while other Monster Hunter games never really hit the Xbox, this one did. because it's using the Havoc stuff.
Oh, the Havoc.
And guess who owns Havoc?
Right.
Microsoft.
May have something to do with that.
Might have a little bit to do with it.
The other issue with Monster Hunter before, like if this is your first Monster Hunter game, you're not going to want to go back to any of the old ones because there is a lot of stuff that they really streamlined for this one that's just really frustrating and convoluted on the older games. Like, you know, you have your whetstone to sharpen your weapon. You actually had to go find those in prior games. You didn't just have one on you that had infinite uses, so you had to find them, and they were, you know, can only be used so many times before you had to go find another one. So there's a lot of stuff that they've made. You know, this is the most accessible Monster Hunter game they've ever made. You probably could get away with putting like an hour or two in here or there. I don't think it's, you know, like super demanding on your time. If you want to spend an hour here and there, you could totally do that.
Yeah, no,
That's been working out for me so far.
Yeah, like when I get into like these type of games, I really like to set up a whole bunch of time because like when I get into them, that's all I want to play is that. And like currently with my schedule and all that kind of stuff, I just don't have that kind of time because to me, like the way I play games is like I have to have a certain amount of time and I devote it all to that game and all that kind of stuff, and that's just more enjoyable for me instead of playing an hour here or there. It's just not enjoyable for me.
Sure, this is a style thing.
Yeah, it's totally fair. I just got sucked into it. I was really excited about Kingdom Come, and I literally couldn't put Monster Hunter down and play Kingdom Come when it came out. So, but yeah, that's understandable.
Cool. All right, so there you go, though, Gov. When you are ready to play, there's your men.
Oh, believe me, I'm going to hit them all up.
And, of course, She-Wolf, who says this is, she loves the game. So, there you go. There's your foursome. Get in there.
Bella's playing this, too, I found out.
Who?
So, Bella.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She was, too. As she was yelling at us about playing Sea of Thieves and how we were playing. But that's a whole other thing. So but, okay. We'll go through mine real quick. Mine is something I was so excited for, played through the first chapter, and then dropped like a bad habit. In fact, not only did I play the first chapter, but on our YouTube page, which from way back in the day now it seems,
My God,
I did a playthrough of chapter 1.
Mm-hmm.
I am an old man, and in my youth, I played King's Quest. I actually played all the Roberta Williams games: King's Quest, Space Quest, Police Quest, Quest of Heroes. I really loved King's Quest, and when they brought Roberta out on stage and talked about remaking the game, and then I heard Christopher Lloyd was in it, and what's his name from The Princess Bride? I mean, all
Inconceivable.
Yes, that guy who I expected at some point in chapter 1 to say that, and he didn't,
Right.
because probably royalties and stuff. But the game was, I was like, oh my god, my youth is back. And so I played through chapter 1, and it is exactly as I thought it would be. It is exactly what I remember, just updated for modern time. I got through chapter 1 and realized, oh my god, there's 6 chapters.
Right.
And then, like everybody else, a new game came out.
Yeah.
And I was like, if I start playing this, I'm gonna ditch other games in the meantime. And so I have not yet gotten back to this. And
also this game was episodic, but the
Yes.
episodes didn't come out on in a predictable time. So it's between 1 and 2, it was like I don't know how long.
it's almost a
seems like forever.
year.
And then I said,
And
oh yeah, by the
then
way,
4 and 5, episodes 4 and 5,
Yeah.
they came like pretty quick.
And then
one
there was a
after the other.
prologue that came out.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which didn't even, I think they just kind of came out and like no one even knew they were out.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
I will say I played the first chapter as well. It's really pretty charming. It's
Absolutely.
it's very
pretty
charming.
solid. Yeah.
And Christopher Lloyd is fantastic in this as the old man voice and stuff like that. So I mean it's not a game I don't like. I will get to playing it. It's just I don't know when.
Yeah.
So
One thing I think that hurt me with it too, that didn't get me through all the chapters, was that I had also, I think it was the same year that Life is Strange came out.
Right.
And Life is Strange is one of my jams. I mean, that game is fantastic, and the second one was too. But both of them kind of put a different take on the adventure game. Because it wasn't really so much about puzzles for either one of them. I mean, you get a little bit of that in this, but Life is Strange kind of set a higher bar for me for that type of game. Than some of the Telltale games or even King's Quest, as charming as it is. I mean, I just felt like Life is Strange was more story focused than they were more narrative.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever get into any of these? Gov?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I played King's Quest. I didn't play all the chapters. I think I played through 3, and I thought they're fantastic. I love the animation, the art style, the character voices, and everything were just fantastic. I loved all the puzzles and all that kind of stuff in the game too.
The humor was good.
Oh yeah, tons of humor.
Yes, very much.
And they paid homage to what was it, the Princess Bride there with the cups there and everything.
Yes, yeah. So I got to get back to it, and I might stream it too because I think people need to go back and check it out. I just don't know when between all the games going on. That is my backlog. All right, so we're gonna go back to the governor because I want him to give his game of the week. Because pretty much all the rest of us have the same game of the week, so except for him. And this will be an interesting discussion when we get there. So we're going to go back to you, sir, with your game of the week, and that
would be a Mario Odyssey.
Yes, number 10 on the NPD.
Yeah, I thoroughly am enjoying Mario Odyssey. I don't think the game itself really set the Mario genre on its head or anything like that, but I think it's a well done game. I really enjoy the 3D aspects, and then they go into the 2D old school Mario 1 type stuff. And me as a Mario guy, I grew up on the NES and all that kind of stuff. That really hit me in the feels, and I enjoyed the crap out of that. It's got tons of humor. I love all the gameplay mechanics, especially tossing your hat. I find myself in just tossing my hat onto everything in there and seeing what I can do with all the enemy types and all that kind of stuff, and it's a lot of fun. I'm almost done with the game. I wanted to try and finish that before Far Cry 5 comes out, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm definitely going to give it a whirl. I'm really close to the end, so. But yeah, that's my game of the week. I'm just enjoying every minute of it.
Good pick.
Thank you.
I think I've got 20 minutes into that game.
Yeah, am I going to be offensive if it's my backlog game next week?
No, absolutely.
No, I mean I got a good little ways into it. I've finished and me and the wife, like I said before, she likes to watch. So we were all jazzed, and when we fired this thing up, and we got through the Garden Galaxy, which has an amazing. I love that track, the music track from the Garden Galaxy, with the swinging sounds. We had collected, all the moons,
Right.
moons.
Yeah.
And then she turns to me and says, is it as good as Galaxy? I'm like, I'll get back to you on it. I guess the main thing that bothered me about it was how much it makes you retread areas.
Yeah.
But aside from that, no. I mean, there's a lot of really great. One thing it does really fantastic, I think, is the big bosses are awesome too.
Oh, absolutely.
But it doesn't wear out any one mechanic really.
Nope.
I mean, you could argue using the hat does, but that's a really generic argument because you use it in so many different ways. I mean, it's what you do, but you do it so many different ways. But otherwise, every area presents a litany of new mechanics that are just for that area.
Yep.
So it does that really well.
And the outfits too, fit in for that, and kind of need them sometimes for what's going on in the puzzles and stuff. So.
Right, to play in the band, you had to look like a sombrero and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like those little story elements too that they did for the band and stuff too. You had to go find these musicians and stuff like that, and I thought that was really cool and quirky at the same time.
Yeah, I definitely want to give it another go. It just didn't grip me the same way as Galaxy did, though. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Galaxy though was you were coming from a different version of Mario, and then they did this just way out of those world concept with Galaxy, and it has a much bigger impact, I think. And I don't equate like Odyssey as being as good as Galaxy, because I'm with you. I think Galaxy was just a grander game, I guess, overall, and that's why I think Mario Odyssey is just a really good Mario game. It doesn't really set anything on fire, but totally enjoyable though. Having a great time.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry, Frankie. Frankie just. Oh my God! It's a joke from last week, but it's still funny.
Yes.
All right, so excellent. Oh, I just got an Xbox notification. You ready for this? Rick has invited me to chat.
Oh, what the heck?
Right?
What did I
Does he
tell you?
not know?
He did the same thing to us last week.
Did he not? Does
Yeah.
he not know what time of night it
It's
is?
it's
I
a
think he's
hint
just
for
looking to
going
get
too
mentioned.
long.
Right.
He's like, come on, it's time for,
It's time, right? It's
our
time for
game of the week.
Well, you know
Or
what? It's
one of the other
perfect
ones.
timing, because the game of the week for the rest of us is exactly
DFD?
what he
Division.
wants to play. Right, the Division.
Yeah,
Right.
So,
could have been.
all right, let's see if this works, guys. Ha. Okay. All right, so everyone's favorite topic.
Man, this game set Twitter on fire. It's melted down.
It has set everybody. Yes, it has set everybody ablaze. So I'm gonna run this while we're talking. Hold on, let me go turn down my receiver real quick. Somebody get started talking about it.
We
Juan,
sailed
go.
the ocean blue together.
Yeah, I guess I could start. I love it. Let me say this. I get that it's not for everyone. Let's start there, right?
Yeah.
It is, however, for me a lot. It takes me kind of back to the old school MMOs where player interaction was the main thing, and I love it solo too. But I've had so many just great little moments, and yeah, I mean, it's not like a narrative, it's not like a great story or whatever, but it's stuff that sticks with you. Like the other night I jumped into just a random galleon, and so here's three dudes. They sounded like teens, early, maybe late, almost 20s, whatever. Hopped in, and I didn't happen to be wearing my mic because I had it put away so the cat wouldn't eat it. So they greet me. I use the chat. I say ahoy, and they come running up, and I'm wearing my pre-order gear because I bought the game to support it. I'm wearing my fancy pirate gear, and I got my fancy controller gear weapon, so I bought the controller because it's sexy. So I have that DLC on as well, and it blows their mind. They're looking at wow, this guy looks all fancy and everything. And they come up and they're like, "Is that from the pre-order?" Because I'm holding the shotgun, and I look this way, shake my head. And they're like, "Oh, is that from the controller?" And I nod. And then we get to drinking on the ship and all that. And I noticed that none of them are pulling out buckets. They're all drinking. And they're all like, and I learned something too. And after all the hours I've already played, one was like, "Oh my God, look at the map." So I look over the chart, and the map is just all like a bad trip when you're drunk. I didn't know that until right at that moment, right? And I played. I've got probably 100+ hours in this thing, and I learned it right then. Right. So then. They kind of stopped drinking, and they're thinking about, maybe going to an outpost and getting a quest, whatever. And they're kind of talking up by the wheel, up at the helm. And I just kept drinking because I had, like I said, I had noticed none of them had gotten out of a bucket. So then, I'm trying. I don't have a mic, so I'm using the little chat. I'm like, "Help me bail! I'm bailing. Help me bail!" As we're drinking. And they're like running down and looking. There's no water. What is he talking about? Why does he have a bucket? Right? I just keep drinking more so that I'm constantly puking. And trying to get them to see that I get. So finally, they're kind of more sobered up, and I'm up by the wheel, still drunk. And wait, he's still got the bucket. Wait, that's not water in the bucket. Is that? I think he's got barf in the bucket. And I just threw it at one of them. Oh my God, he threw the barf on me. I can't see. And it was just like, organic. It was kind of just natural. And then they figured it out, and I did all that without any talking. So it was great like that. Had another great moment a couple nights back where and the Thunder Thighs 82, I want to say his handle is on Twitter, taught me this trick. But I had just turned in some chests and sunk my sloop. I usually sink my ship, scuttle it for the night, just for the sake of it, just to see it, watch it sink. So just my mermaid was out there for a hint that I was there, and I guess they didn't really put it together. And I went next to the Gold Hoarder's tent where you turn in your chest, and I armed my blunderbuss and I used the sleep command to lay down in the bush next to the tent. Totally invisible, right? So here comes this guy with a chest, and he's like, if you play the game, you spend, 20 minutes, half hour, an hour, sometimes on these voyages. So he's walking up and he's just about to turn in the chest, and I pop up with a blunderbuss and just waste him on the spot. Pick it up, turn one step, and turn it in. Just like totally ganked it right at the end line, and it was absolutely a horrible thing to do, and it felt amazing. The three other dudes killed me, but whatever. It's the open PvP element it can be fun. I think people will come to learn that it's not terribly profitable unless you see someone with a chest to spend a lot of time trying to kill them.
Oh, Rick would disagree with you.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, it's just fun to see the ship go down, and see them swimming in,
Who doesn't love the sound that the cannonballs make when they hit a ship? Oh
yeah,
that musical every time it gets higher as you get closer to singing the thing.
Yeah,
it's so great. Another ambush I did was at a similar situation. I had just turned in 3 chests on a solo run, and then a sloop came to the island with 2 dudes, and I killed both of them and turned in the chest, and then I went to their ship, and I turned it away from the shore and raised the anchor, and just set it on its way, and jumped off with the most valuable chest that still had on it, and turned that in too. And it's just pirate, but and it goes the other way. I mean, like I was sailing with Jarek, who talks with Deacon quite a bit. He had messaged me, "Hey, I'm thinking about getting into this," and I said, "Yes, jump on the sloop Juan B, let's go." And so we went, and we ended up getting to a protracted fight with another sloop, and there was much murder, and we got beat, and they stole our chest. But it's all part of the game. It's fantastic. So yeah, I'm totally addicted. I like the single player. A lot of people consider it boring, but I like the kind of chill, just getting around the map. I think the game is gorgeous. And the sound of the water and everything is fantastic. But then in a moment, you see a sail on the horizon, and now it's tense.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And now it's what's going on? Where is that? Which way is that ship going? Do they see me? Are my lights on? Whatever. I've had stories where I've run galleons that pursue me through storms to lose them, and they're sniping at me, and I'm watching cannonballs come up over the waves because they're just lobbing them over the tall waves between us. I had a galleon chase me for 40 plus minutes, and I kept the sloop into the wind where it's faster, so I managed to get to an outpost before they did. I sunk my own ship just so they wouldn't get the pleasure of it. I turned in my chest and I ran to this tall point on the island, and I'm waving down at them and dancing from the top of the mountain. You didn't catch me. And they start, sniping from the boat with the eye of reach, and so I just logged from there and made my escape complete. But yeah, I love this game.
Yeah, I had some games with. That's so funny.
Well, I had
running the boat and.
Yeah, I had an interesting
had
crew.
to take a shortcut.
Yes, I had an interesting crew who did not know how to tell me there was a rock or land in front of me.
We did, but our captain didn't take orders.
Oh, don't even try.
Yeah, but we had some other like super fun stuff where we we saw a little we were boating a galleon, and we saw a little sloop at an outpost, and so we thought, well, let's see what's going on. Let's kill them. So we go down there, and we ended up at the tavern, and they were just down there playing and stuff. And Tommy Guns, or now Tommy Pizza, he took his pistol and basically killed one of them, and that was really tense. And Inferno, he was playing with us, and he was playing on PC, so he could do game chat as well as party chat, and he was talking to the guys and relaying it back to us because we were in party chat, like, I think they're good guys and other stuff, and then we end up killing them both. And so then they spawned back on their sloop, and then we had a good time. We all hang out, and I forgot I think our ship sank at one point, so we ended up all on a little sloop. So we had like six people on the tiny little sloop. And then it was like a galleon with French guys on it, and we had a blast. I got marooned at one point, and I had a chest, and everybody else left because they went to the mermaid and go back on the ship. And I was on an island, and I couldn't tell what island it was, and it was like one of those unnamed ones. And they finally found me, and that was awesome. That was just fantastic.
Yeah, it's like that. The game is a great sandbox for people to make those kind of little mini stories with each other.
Right. It's like, you get a bunch of sticks and string, and it's like, here, have fun with it.
Right.
That's the kind of thing. And even though you have like quests and stuff, I don't see this as like, quests are the number one goal. They will help you, get going and kind of, explore. But what you said, it's like, the social aspect of this game is where the meat and bones are.
Well, yeah, and I think that's where the strength of the game is, and why I think that there's, that it's not a game that everybody is necessarily a fan of, and I think some of it has to do with, I think people are expecting to run side quests and run, to do a lot of grinding and level up. I've heard a lot about level progression. Gabby, you've had some time with the game. Give us your thoughts.
So
Be honest. We're all friends.
Yeah,
we're all
absolutely.
Friends here.
Oh, you got no problem about being honest, bro.
I know this is true.
So Sea of Thieves for me is a game that I really want to love, but the gameplay and everything hampers me from doing that. And I'm one of those that are like, not so much that it doesn't have a progression like for a character or anything like that. Your character's not living. I as a PvP game, like everybody on a level playing field is a smart thing to do. Like I think that's how it should be. But where I have a problem with it is it's completely repetitive gameplay, and this is coming from a standpoint of a guy who plays Diablo religiously every season. Like I like repetitive gameplay. Like that's me. I like gear grinding type kind of games. But this one is just good.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to rude, but that's the difference. Is in Diablo, the repetitiveness gets you doing. You don't mind it because you're getting gear. You're getting progression through getting better gear. You're improving for the grind.
Right, but I mean, you also have to grind these voyages as well to get legendary status and all that to get to the end game content is where you want to be in this game. I would think eventually, and that's where, and it's not. The quest and all that kind of stuff is going to help you get there, but the problem is with the quests is like they're super repetitive. They're all fetch quests. They really serve no purpose but to level the vendor. And when you get to certain points, like the certain level caps, they don't really change anything about the quest, but maybe getting a few more people here and there. And I think that's a miss overall for me. Personally in the game. I absolutely agree with all of you. I think it's one of the best looking games this gen, like hands down to Rare. It's definitely a Rare game. It looks fantastic and beautiful, and all that kind of stuff. But I think really the gameplay is really lacking for me. And I kind of have a little bit of a problem when I played a lot of the betas as well, and they were like, there's going to be so much more on, the final release of the game, and it really isn't. It's just a beta, again, just a couple of things here and there. Which again I think is a little bit of a miss. And I went to Twitter and I talked to a lot of people about it and what their feelings are and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of people are feeling the same way, and some people are feeling like you guys as well. Like it's super fun, and I get that. But and I hear this a lot too. Is like in 6 to 12 months it's just going to be like a different game, like Rainbow Six. Well, if that's the case for me as that gamer, like we'll release it in 6 to 12 months, so it's a better game for me now. Like I don't really see me investing the money into it now. I'll invest into it later when it's a much better game for me, and that's kind of my whole standpoint on it as a whole. I really do want to love this game. It's just the gameplay for me is just not doing it for me.
But I'll tell you why that's a fair point. When Rainbow Six Siege came out originally, it was a game I totally passed on as a Rainbow Six fanatic. Like I mean Vegas and Vegas 2 and even the originals on the Dreamcast, we were very, that series was very close to my heart. I had a problem with the fact that there was no campaign in this Rainbow Six. It was totally multiplayer, and at the time, that just wasn't my thing. I ended up buying it down the road when it went on sale for like $30. I enjoy it, totally enjoy it, but it's a game that I think we talked about a little earlier. You have to play with the right people, and I think this is where I am at with the game. It's taken me a couple of voyages to really sink in the fun factor, except I've had a very good crew around me to play with. And some of this is, I've heard some people call it, well, it's the ultimate chat simulator and stuff like that. There's a little truth to that.
There is
a little
absolutely.
truth to that. There isn't a lot to do, and I think in the fact that Rare did say that, and then in the video that they put out right afterwards said, hey, we're gonna have an update coming out that's got that will fix some things, maybe change some things. And one of my friends on Twitter that I don't use Twitter much anymore, but I caught a tweet from somebody who they got up on the ship and they got a message about something coming, like and the message literally said the world is changing. So Rare may be looking to make this a living world. It's a huge world. It's a huge map. It is an absolutely gargantuan map. Where it got fun for me was the first two voyages, and Peter will tell you because I was on them with him. We didn't see anybody. There were no other ships in the entire game. All we did was fetch quests, and I got that.
May have been server issues early
And
because
that
there's a lot of
could be.
login issues.
And that could be because I played last night with Rick and Jeremy and Rick's brother, this is where the game got fun for me. Rick doesn't care about anything but, hey, there's a ship. Let's go get it. He doesn't care a bit about treasure. He wants to go and be a pirate and sink ships. That's his MO. So last night
Cool thing is you can.
Well, that's just it. So last night we're headed for an island. We see a ship off to the like our 3:00 bow, and Rick's like, we got to go get it. It's just a sloop. Let's go get it. And we ended up chasing this ship around this island for like a half hour. And there's two things I learned. Number one, it was the exact scene from Star Trek II when the Enterprise and the Reliant were circling the planet trying to catch each other. The Reliant was trying to catch the Enterprise. And I figured out how to do a 180 turn on this ship. I can turn this galleon on a dime. Have any of you seen the movie Battleship?
Yeah.
Okay. Remember towards the end when they were on the old boat and they're headed towards the mothership starts shooting at them and they get to drop the anchor and it turns the ship real fast. It turns the guns. That's what we can do with the galleon. It works the exact same way. So I would turn the wheel totally towards port or starboard. I'd get the other three guys to quickly drop the anchor, and this poor sloop didn't know what hit it. We turned and 180'd, and while we were 180ing, they ran to the guns, fired the cannons, hit this poor ship, and then ran to the anchor, brought the anchor up, and then we went to the ship and finished them off. And then for the next hour and a half, this ship and the people on it found another sloop, came back, rammed us at one point, chased us around an island at one point, and Rick was just like, you know what? That's it. They're toast. And so he launched himself into a cannon and launched himself at the boat. At one point, and it's not this video, I wish we had streamed it, I really do. At one point, they were on an outpost, and we snuck up on them. Same people, too. It was really funny. Snuck up on them. They were They were bringing a chest ashore, so Rick and I got in the water with the guy, and guns work underwater apparently in this game. We shot him up, turned in his thing, got back to his boat. By the time he respawned, killed him again, and then took off with his boat.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the kind of stuff that that if you've got the right crew, I'm into. As much as I know Juan's had a great time with the single player, I don't know if I would have the same great time.
Well, it's not for everybody. It's a very single player is a totally different beast because it's and I don't think honestly I think Rare should restrict single player until you've done X number of cruises multiplayer. Because single player is hard mode for this game. Single player, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage for any kind of fight. If you're not good at the sailing mechanic, if you don't know how to do things like that, you're gonna get caught. I can now.
Look how beautiful that is, by the way.
Oh yeah. The Sloop 1B has now evaded like 5 or 6 galleon crews that have tried to take her down. Just outsailed them, outran them. It's faster into the wind. A lot of people don't know that. I wish more people knew it and would give up. But yeah, I mean, like another great example, like, and you really got to have your head on a swivel playing single player. You just got to be aware of what's around you at all times. I was at the one island called Crooked Mast that has 2 kind of mountain peaks near each other, and I had a gold hunter's quest, and I was digging up gold, and as I was finding the second X, a galleon that I had been keeping tabs on for a while finally turned toward the island. So I'm running back to the boat. And that island has these big boulders right off the shore. So I'm kind of parked a little narrow alleyway between the boulder and the shore. And so I got, one way facing out. As the galleon's approaching, I'm jumping on the ship. And now I don't really put the anchor down much with the sloop. Because if you roll the sails, it'll coast for a little while. And if you get good at, coasting to where you want to be, then you can just drop the sail and be gone in a heartbeat. Because the sloop accelerates so much faster. But anyway, I'm in that little alleyway between the shore and the boulder, and they decide they're going to come around the boulder on the outside and tee up on me, cross the tee, and give me the guns, and be parked, in front of my exit. The boulder's big enough that they're completely out of sight. They can't see me when I'm, when they go by. So as soon as they're out of sight, I'm cranking the helm over, and if you're not moving, the ship will turn within its own length. So I'm just doing a straight 180 without moving anymore. Time to clear the rocks and throw the anchor. I waited for them to throw the anchor to the anchor stop right there. I drop the sail and hop up on the stern and start waving because I'm gone. 2 cannonballs missed, but they hadn't seen anything of me moving. They just saw me parked there. Next time they see me, I'm facing the other way and sailing away. By the time they got their ship moving again and around the island, I'm so far gone they gave up. But it's little moments like that make single player great.
And we even had I had like a sea battle because we were having that galleon and we teamed up with a little sloop. Right. And then it was like a galleon with a bunch of French guys on it, and they were like cussing in French and stuff, and we were like battling. That was so. I mean, we played like for 5 hours straight, and that was like awesome. That's like crazy.
Yeah, I think you have to have the right crew. I can understand. I can understand what Gov is saying. You gotta have. There's a couple of things about this, and by the way, again, the graphic, just the shadows that get pushed along, the water effects and all that they're mind blowing. The water, I can't get over the water. I've talked so much about the water effects and the fact that they're so different from place to place. And I know Digital Foundry did an entire video on the tech behind this, and I mean it is just it's a mixture of realism meets Rare. I mean, you definitely see Rare in the game. But
one thing I want to touch with you guys too is like I hear like the point, like you got to have the right crew, but I still think even if you have the right crew, it doesn't change the fetch quests, the mechanics, or anything like that. Yeah, you're having a great time with a bunch of your friends on a boat and doing whatever. I totally get that, but it doesn't change the fact that the fetch questions are broken. Also, like the gold to buying stuff for your thing is just outrageous. Like 70,000 for like sales and all that kind of stuff is a little outrageous. They need some balance there.
I think that's meant for Pirate Legends. I think as you get, this is my prediction. As you get higher, you get quests that are worth more. And I think a lot of people, and this isn't a judgment for anyone who has, but I think a lot of people just looked at the grind and were like, nope. But
yeah, I totally get that. I totally get what you're saying too. I think when you hit legendary status, you're right. You're probably going to get a crap ton of more gold. But at the same time, we know microtransactions are coming as well, and I think that's also part of the reason why it's really high too. Is if people don't want to do the grind, they could just pay for whatever they want to pay for.
Now they haven't mentioned that. They have mentioned selling like pets. That sound like they could be implemented in kind of a good way. You could be right. I mean, would they announce it beforehand? Because it's gonna catch flack if you can buy, gold.
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally cool with like the microtransactions as long as they're cosmetic and don't break the game in any way. Like, I'm totally
I'm good with that.
That's not a big deal to me.
So what would you? So in your perfect world of loving the game, what do you, what are you looking for in the game to get you to where you were hoping to be with it? Because you're making excellent and fair points, and I've heard this a lot, and there really isn't anything, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm curious what you're looking for.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Like, number one, like I think they need to change something to go along with the fetch quest. At least change them up a little bit, add some variety to them, and to make you want to do them more. Because you do have to, get leveled up here to get that legendary status, to get that more gold, to go ahead and start doing the stuff for your boats, which everybody eventually wants to get to, right? How they want to implement that, whatever. But going and seeing, and at this point, it's become really repetitive, even with the enemies. Is like they're all just skeletons or a different version, and there's only a couple of different versions at this point. Granted, the world is fantastic; it's beautiful. The islands are fantastic. I would like to have seen. We see writing on the walls, and they could be done from pirates and stuff like that, but they also could be done from indigenous people that we don't see any of, or, you go and see some of these people, and they talk about, like, the Kraken, or some lore behind the Kraken, and all these other stuff. Like, there's just so more that I think can be done from a gameplay perspective that I think they're missing a lot of. Like I said, they need to balance out the gold per, reward ratio. I think this stuff is really too expensive at this point, and if at the end it's legendary status to get all your boat stuff, cool, then they should turn off that vendor, or say on the vendor, hey, unlockable when you get to legendary status, like, right? Not look at this thing and being like what Juan was saying, like, oh my god, it's so much of a grind, I just don't want to do it. Like, you're turning people off from the game. That's what you don't want, right?
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I think it's totally doable within 6 to 12 months to go ahead and fix some of the issues that I'm having, and a lot of other people that reviewed the game and other gamers are having with the game, and then it'll turn out to be something I'm actually really enjoying and want to play more of. But at the current state of the game, I'm looking to more games to play right now than keeping on with Sea of Thieves, unfortunately.
Nothing wrong with that. Let me ask you this: how do you feel? Because one of the people, a lot of things I'm hearing suggested is the need for a PvE hub, or a non-PvP area.
I don't think a PvE hub is the answer either. I saw this too, and I talked with a couple people online about that. I think a PvE server would justify better. There's people that play a lot of these games like MMOs and stuff that like the PvE side of it and have really great communities where they actually act out as pirates. They talk as pirates in the chat and all that kind of stuff. And I think that would be a really great thing for this game as well. So, and Magic Mike brought up a good point. He's probably going to bring it up on the show tomorrow. Is there's a lot of griefing going on in the game, not from the aspect of being the pirate, but when people come and kill you, they're not killing your boat and all that stuff, and they're letting you respawn on your boat and then killing you again and again and again. Yeah. And the only way to get out of that loop is to quit the game and then restart on another server,
or to sink your boat,
place. Or to sink your boat, right? And I think that's an issue that's going to be more prevalent if they don't correct these issues soon. Because the last thing you don't want. Yeah, go ahead, sure.
I know that that is something that Rare has looked at and have mentioned in dev posts or dev videos.
I think they mentioned it in the last dev video.
Right, that they're looking to give you the option of giving the choice of where you respawn. So that because spawn killing is definitely a thing, and it's an issue for sure.
And
I'd
And the
also
other
like
thing-
to. Oh, go ahead.
And the other
It
thing
would
that
be
I
a
have-
terrible first experience.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm thinking too. And the other thing I've had an issue with too, and is I'm more of the PvE player in Sea of Thieves. I like doing the quest. I like doing that grind and all that kind of stuff. Yes, it is a little repetitive, but that's what I enjoy doing. And to like if they had a PvE server like this happened to us, like we were minding our own business. We were staying away from anybody that would want to attack us and all that kind of stuff. You know, we had a lot of loot on the boat and all that kind of stuff, and we're trying to, you know, level up our things. And the last thing you want to do is you're spending hours doing these quests because they do take some time. And to just have it all taken away, I mean, that instantly for me is just like, all right, I just don't even want to play this anymore. Like, I mean, that's just heartbreaking to a lot of people. And I think having those separations would be really good. So if people don't want to go ahead and do PvP, go for it. I think people want to do the PvE kind of stuff and just level up and have good communities and doing all that kind of stuff, I think is also an option they should definitely look into.
I think it wouldn't necessarily hurt to have separate servers. I think if you put like a PvP free area in the game, what I've seen with that in the past is you get PvP at the border.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I don't want that. I'd rather have a separate server altogether, yeah.
Now, to that, I would say the game definitely needs more before it would be able to support such a thing.
Agreed.
It needs more.
Yeah, it's going to need more enemies
things
and
to do.
Yeah, things that I agree with that. And I think part of this is they wanted, pirate. They wanted, there's a boat coming, and you need to be wary. And maybe they attack you, maybe they don't, maybe they befriend you, maybe they stab you in the back. It's more. I get what they were doing with that. I kind of understand it.
And I think from their core concept, it was a good idea, but you also have to look into like the player base in general. We do have a lot of, I hate to say it, but jerks out there that just want to grief people.
That's true. That's true. And I would like to see, I think that was something that was, you should not respawn on your boat. I think you should respawn at the closest outpost. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why that would work. So last night, one of the other things we did, so we finally went in and we finally went to the island, and it would happen to be the Isle of Last Words in the middle of this rock area. We finally finished fighting with this sloop. We went in and for whatever reason, we didn't park right, and the boat sank. So Rick and a couple other guys went to the Mermaid, went back to the outpost. Well, I stayed on the island, and I fought off some skeletons, and I dug up the treasure. In the meantime, they went back to the outpost, got a new boat, came back and picked me up. And it was cool because they're like, hey, man, we're almost there. So I'm looking through my eyeglass, and I can see them coming. And so I can, I'm like, well, hey, how do I know that's you? Say, Rick, shoot your gun. So he shoots his gun in the air. So I know it's him. And so it's just, if you can survive as the last member of your crew can respawn back in an outpost, get a new boat, and come out and come get you. Mm-hmm. And hopefully you're not having to fend off 3 pirates yourself. I think that's.
Do you remember when we did that in the beta?
Yes.
Because it was us. It was us together. Coop, I think, was with us. Nate, and I ended up marooned on an island with 2 dudes with eyes of reach, and I was hiding out from them under a little cove in the beach, and I'm
tried to come get you.
You guys came back in the ship, and then I'm trying to swim out and meet it, and Nate won't drop the anchor. Like, okay, drop the anchor. Okay, I'm watching the boat go. I'm still trying to swim. And this is the beta that had all the sharks too. Remember, like, the sharks
the beta
were
was
crazy
filled
in
with
that
sharks.
beta. Oh, it's a shark apocalypse. But yeah. So I'm just like trying to get this chest back to the boat. I'm thinking about all these sharks that are probably following me right now. I'm watching the boat go. Okay, stop. And you guys, okay, cool, we dropped it.
Right.
You're still going.
So M. Ferguson 29 is saying, can we get chain shot to break masts and put holes in sails? That would be cool.
They've talked about that. That's something that that would be bad for my sloop. That'd be bad for my one man. Because I get one mast, and that could be very bad for the way I play the game a lot. So I think what would be interesting though would be bow chasers for the ships. Give them something to shoot at me, because like the last galleon that chased me for like 40 minutes, I'm staring at the front of that boat following me as I'm just going to the wind and trying to maintain an outpost. And they can get up on the bow and use the eye of reach and such, but it's tough at a distance. But if they had a couple of small cannons up front, that'd make it interesting.
Yeah, and I think that's what drew me to the session yesterday, was that Rick wanted to go after these boats. And I know that may not be everybody's cup of tea, but chasing the boat around, chasing a sloop around with a galleon is not as easy as it sounds. And just because your boat's bigger does not mean you're going to catch it.
Oh,
And
no, a good sloop crew can take down a galleon.
And we got taken down a couple of times. I mean, we were sparring with these guys for like an hour, and it was I enjoyed. I think that if that I probably would not fire this game up a whole lot to just play by myself, unless as Gov says, there's more to it than that. I get that. I totally get that. I when I look down and I'm already like this stream was 2.5 hours. The stream after that was 2.5 hours, and I'm looking down going, holy crap! How did I spend so much time just going around a boat? And it turns out that it's because the other guys I was playing with were a part of that fun, and so I kind of get that. Frankie and Nate, jump in here because we gotta kind of slide through. You guys have been quiet.
Oh, sorry, I'm just talking to Sam in the chat about this stuff, but sorry, what were you guys talking about?
Monster Hunter World.
We're talking about something totally different about Sea of Thieves in the chat right now. So,
No.
My biggest thing that I'm missing in this game, or my biggest pet peeve, is like, say you start up a galleon with some friends, and people have to leave because after playing like 2 hours or whatever. So some people leave, and at that point, like anybody can really join that ship instead of just like people on your friends list or private invites, etc. So hopefully they fix that part.
You just vote them into the brig.
No, I know you could do that, but then some people that's like, okay, I'm in the
Right, but
Yeah.
now you're down,
And I don't
down
care.
to 3 people.
I've been that guy.
yeah. So
you still get rewards when they turn stuff in if you don't leave. So, why not hang out?
Get out the switch.
But
So-
you can't kill them, but yeah.
Yeah, no. I don't know what to say about question about someone.
Hey.
Now,
Nate, stop.
Hey, yours
Every time you move, your microphone goes.
Sorry, it's my shoulder.
Sorry.
no, I think Rare has put down a really solid foundation here. I think it's got a ton of potential. It'll be really interesting to see what they do, and I believe it's like a total passion project for them. If you watch the developer videos and such, like I did as the whole thing was coming up, I think that this is their baby, and I fully believe it's gonna be quite supported.
Well, this is the game Rare wanted to make. I mean, they've said that. This has been on, and not just Rare of new. I mean, Rare of old wanted to make a game like this. Now, the question is, how much player base is in this game, and is it enough for Phil to not pull the plug on it? That's the question. And that, now early indications are really good. Rare said they had 1 million unique players playing this game right out of the gate. That is a good sign.
But to be fair, too, though, we have to take into account that a lot of those were free trials to Game Pass. And
That's
all that kind of
okay.
stuff. So we have to wait here like a month or two and see what the player base is after.
That's
yes,
okay.
But interest is interest.
Yes, and at least
they at least did what they had to do to try it.
Right.
Right, but for this game, you need a player base to continue playing this game.
True.
I agree with that. Look, there's obviously, this is a game that is interesting in how it has polarized, and there's no doubt about that. But I agree with Juan that there's enough here. There's enough here to hold my interest as long as people want to play with me.
Right.
And that's going to be key. Is a lot of these guys that are going out and questing, are they going to want to keep questing together long enough for the game to grow? I do think that even if they see a quarter drop in player base, I think Phil's still got to see this thing through. He still
I don't
has
think
to
he's
see
going
it.
to stop anything.
Yeah,
with
I can't imagine it's going to get the plug pulled anytime soon, just because of Scalebound and Fable Legends.
Fable
Legends. Yeah, right. With the PR nightmare that they've had the last, I mean, people are still talking about, well, they canceled those games. So I don't think this is going to get pulled anytime soon. One thing I think is going to be cool to watch for is to see what Rare does with player interaction, because they've already done a fair amount of that throughout the alphas and betas, where they've taken players or media types and such and have put them in the game, immortalized them in some way. And I think that I don't think that's going to stop. I think they're going to be looking at, the pirates, and hopefully not the cheaters, but because that's one thing too that is worth discussing in this game, is that cross-play and cheaters from PC. Because that's one thing that if I have a big negative with this game, it's when I run into a cheater. And you can obviously tell who they are, because you see the galleon roll up and it's fully decked out and all that expensive shit, and you're like, no, nobody has made that kind of money yet. And then they're invulnerable and all their shots are headshots.
To be fair though, that could be console
Any game.
too. Well, it could be console players too.
It could, but I think it's less likely. I think it's less common.
I mean, they have Cronus Max and stuff that build a lot of cheat stuff in there that they really haven't handled at this point. Like Call of Duty is really prevalent with that, and I can definitely see that in this game as well.
And I jacked up my sensitivity last night, and it makes a big difference.
Yeah, definitely needs sensitivity, yeah, for sure.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I think what's going to be telling in this game is, again, in a couple of months, what the player base is going to be at, how fast are they going to get content out for this game, because I think that's really where it's lacking the most. And these games, like Destiny and all the others, and I'm not comparing this as, it's a Destiny game. It's not. But they live and die by the content and how fast they can get it out to keep the player base happy.
One bright spot there is I don't think they have to do full content updates, like certification process and everything, to make the kind of changes. They've built it to be a readily changeable world. Now, it might not be huge differences, but you might see live events and things like that come across.
Yeah,
once they get past the kind of launch problems issue.
And
I think the only thing they would get certification for is big, huge, DLC type kind of things.
Yeah, and I don't think I could see this. I could see this changing in small ways too. I think they can take it, and this is a very weird analogy. I understand that, but as an IT guy, you may kind of understand this too, Gov.
Yeah.
I can see this being more of a Windows 10 style update system, where they're not patching this game for this and patching this game for that. They're just doing content updates that have multiple things in it and maybe add something here or there, but doesn't have to be they don't have to service pack this game, if you kind of get my lingo.
I don't think this is a game that's going to be having huge DLC packs like a Destiny or a Taken King kind of thing. I think those will come, but I think the smaller patches and stuff will absolutely be.
But in the case, they have some, you have those statues or whatever,
Yep.
What's the goal of those? I mean, they could be
there's so
adding
much
on
that we
stories
don't.
with those. Yeah, exactly.
There's so much we don't know or haven't seen that they could do. I want to say one more thing about the game before we wrap up talking about it. But the thing that's going to keep me coming back personally, and again, I'm a weirdo who likes the chill aspect of the gameplay too.
Yeah.
But I did a 2-man group with Brent from Sharp Paws, and we probably played for an hour and a half, 2 hours or so, and we didn't have any close encounters with other ships. We were pretty good at avoiding them. We took a merchant's quest, and the merchant ones are definitely tough single player, but it's a little better with an extra set of hands. Mm-hmm. So we were doing one of those, and we couldn't find the second pink pig. We found a pink pig on the island that had pigs. But the second one, we just couldn't find any other pink one. We went to 4 or 5 different islands trying to find this pig, but we found shipwrecks, loose, a message in a bottle, loose chests along the way, all this kind of stuff. So we ended up with this huge horde, and the whole time we're just bullshitting. I mean, we're just talking about shit, and it was totally chill. And so yeah, there's a little bit to that chat thing, but it's actually not a bad thing in my opinion either if you are again with the right people, because we were just. It's kind of cool chat, and we turned in a 7,000, in an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. We had a 7K haul, We dove like 4 wrecks, found some captain's chests, and
Look at the
I would definitely do
moonlight.
that.
Look at the moonlight on the water. I
gotta-
cannot get over that.
I got a shot on my Twitter where we were sailing back with our hull there, and a sunrise came up behind a storm, like right on the edge of a storm, the rainfall from a storm. So it looked so amazing. Like I just shouted out like sunrise behind a storm, and we're both taking screenshots. But yeah, no, I think the social aspect of the game will definitely keep me coming back because. I mean, I haven't done it as much as say Mike or Nate, but using Xbox Live is just a chat while you're doing other games or whatever, you're just talking with people. Yeah, that's the shot.
Yeah, I grabbed a
love
couple of
the
these.
shot. That whole thing where people say, whatever I'm playing, we're all in the chat together and we're just chatting. I mean, that's kind of what Sea of Thieves is.
That's mine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that is, and and it's okay if this isn't for everybody. Not every game is. I mean, that's we're I mean, we were here earlier bitching about Madden. I mean,
Right.
it's not the end of the world if people don't like the game. It's also not the end of the world if people do. I'm going to end it on this. I have one issue that I think is a little unfair, and it speaks more to the gaming media than anything. The same gaming media that at E3s and Gamescoms and every time they touched the game at a convention, gave it award after award after award after award, and then all of a sudden the reviews come out and they are what they are. That to me, I had a problem with that. Go
Let's
ahead.
put the context with it though. Like when they were playing like E3 and all these events, they were really only playing against other people and doing just the PvP, like shooting each other kind of thing.
They were
And-
vertical slices.
Yeah, they were just vertical slices. So to be fair, now they have the full game, and they probably weren't in the beta like the rest of us and doing all that kind of stuff. So we had to take that into account. And I totally understand what you're saying. They're giving it all this praise, but we also have to look at the context of that situation.
My bigger thing is, when is the right time to review this game? Is it really fair to give this game a permanent score day one? I mean, everybody knows this is the worst it's going to be.
Yeah, but I mean, are you going to wait a year to give a score to this game too when it's much better? Like it's one of those like I don't know.
And
tough.
if you want to know why NLG doesn't do reviews anymore, this is why. The landscape of game reviews is different because these games as a service type games are never going to be finished. And look at, I mean, would you rate games like Ghost Recon Wildlands or
Rainbow Six Siege
or Grand Theft Auto 5, would you rate them different now than you would when they first came out? Of course, because there's stuff that, I mean, these are now we're in an era of living, breathing games. It's something that us old guys are just not. I'm not used to it yet myself.
Yeah, it's not a cartridge game.
I think, and I've been a proponent of this like from the get-go. I think reviews and everything have been broken for a very, very long time. I think they need to just go away, period. They're very subjective to that person. That may speak to some people, but it's not speaking to all people. And a lot of the times there is a bit bias, or they don't like this platform, or they don't even like this genre of game, and they're reviewing the game.
Right.
And that's another unfair advantage to games. And I'm speaking to all platforms, all games.
Right.
It happens. Yep, I've seen it.
Yeah,
Sea of Thieves,
I
best
think-
racing game.
I think the best way to go forward is just doing impressions of like, we're not giving it a score. This is what we like. This is what we don't like. Take that with a grain of salt and have a good time.
Exactly.
Period.
And I'll tell you, or at least I will tell you the way it used to work. I don't know if this is still true or not, but a lot of development companies that third-party publishers publish games for lived and died by Metacritic.
Mhm.
And at the time, the other big one was Game Rankings. When Game Rankings,
Yeah, they get like bonuses and stuff. And
yeah,
like
people,
that.
you could get bonuses by that. I mean, you really lived and died by that score, and that how in a game like this, and a game like and I'm not trying to defend Sea of Thieves to anybody who doesn't like the game. I totally get it, and I totally get everybody's points. But I also understand the other side of it is there's more to come. There has to be, because if not, this could be
like when you look at reviews, like you'll read a review and the person says in there like, this is broken with the game, this is broken with the game, but I had a good time, so I'm just going to give it a 10 anyway. That to me is just nonsense. Like, you can't say a bunch of things are broken in the game and still give it a 10 and just give it a pass. Like, that's not cool.
Yeah, and Metal Gear Solid 5 comes to mind, where it shipped without an online mode that they promised, and yet it still got 10s. So I mean, it
was Kojimbles.
Well, yes, it was. There was a reason for it, and
every one of those 10s was a fuck Konami, is what it was.
Well, it was there was partially that, and it was partially this is a Hideo Kojima game. Oh, that's right. Rory's not in the room. I can't say Kojima. So I mean,
the Sea of Thieves headline that I liked the least was polygons. How about how do I start a voyage exactly? I don't know. Maybe he had some kind of glitch or some kind of maybe he played on PC. There was a problem,
and he didn't have a boat
because the tutorial comes up in big. I mean, neon. You can't miss it. It's all over the center screen when you wake up from the groggy table, like when you first start, the very first time. It doesn't go away until you do it, in my experience. So unless some glitch happened or something that prevented him from even seeing the start of it, there is a step-by-step tutorial on how to get going. It takes you to the first vendor, talking to the vendor.
Not even that, like you go into the game and say you just bumble around, you don't see the tutorial anyway, right?
Right.
You go to the gold hoarder, you pick up a couple of things, you're clicking on stuff, whatever. You go to the ship, you walk around the ship, the freaking table that you go to says put a voyage down. Like, hit key to put freaking voyage down. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it was. I'm like, how do you have this problem? Because even if you don't get the tutorial for some reason, what's left? You walk around, you talk to NPCs. When has that not been a thing in gaming?
Yeah, like, is this the first time you ever played a game in your life? Like,
and it bothered me. I have to admit.
Yeah, that stuff bothers.
Yeah, and maybe that's part. So this is old man journalist that just I will never understand what has happened to gaming journalism. I just will never understand it, and this is part of it. Because it's
I mean, it's easy though. What happened to gaming journalism? It's clicks to survive these days, and they'll do anything. Well, and
it's advocacy. They see it happening. They see it happening in 24-hour news cycles, and they figure gaming journalism could be the same way. And the problem is that careers live and die by this stuff. Like I said, this is what Metacritic back in the day was how game development companies lived and died, and whether or not they were tasked to make another game again. And it's not it's not fair to Ubisoft, it's not fair to Microsoft, it's not fair to EA, it's not fair to anybody to to just get it, to score these games at this point. I think you have to let them play out and let the people watch streams, let the people watch shows like ours, like Console Corner and Tick and PlayStation Bra and see, now I'm mentioning everybody's in the chat room too, and because I just saw Irrelevant Native and of course Digital Hoarders, our buddies over there too. Take our opinions and make up your own mind, and don't let a score deal with you. It's crazy. I have a problem with it, and I don't have a problem with anybody who doesn't like the game. And you've brought up some excellent points. Some of the points that I've seen online on social media have been good points. Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean that we all have different experiences with the game, which is also part of this game. Mm-hmm. And the experiences could be good, they could be bad. But
just because I don't like the game doesn't mean my experience should take over everybody else's either. Like,
exactly.
It's just an opinion that you can use to decipher what you want out of it and put that to whatever you want to do with the game. Like, that's totally cool.
And sometimes even those opinions either way, now I got to see what he's talking about. And so I go try the game. And maybe I have the same experience. Maybe I have the same experience as Juan. Maybe I don't. Maybe I have my own experience and figure out that, hey, man, maybe I like this game, or, this isn't for me. This is just, I can't. This is why I love these shows and not, and just don't. I just don't follow the mainstream gaming media in this way anymore, and I'm glad that we don't. So, by the way, I did want to point out real quick, and then we got to get to the retro rec because we're running hot. Direwolf 484, who is Sam Tolbert from Tick, he.
Oh my God! Is that who that is?
They actually interviewed Craig Duncan, and there was some excellent information there. And I don't think he can put a link in there, but if you go to, I believe they can go to Tick's website, right, Sam, and get to the interview. I highly recommend that you listen to it because it's excellent. And if you're looking for some information that maybe you're not getting some, on Twitter, that it's good information to have. So, anyway, any other thoughts, prayers, comments?
One last thing about Sea of Thieves. I am a huge, and I still am, and I said it beforehand in the beta and all that where I think this game, one thing I think will help it stay relevant or stay with people in it is its nature of how it doesn't matter if you don't play it for a while. If you want to come back and check it out when kind of does hit, you and I can play, without any kind of fussing about needing to be the same level or have a certain level of gear to come join me or any of that noise. So, if you're a Game Pass player and you play it and you're like, it's not for me right now, and then they announce some new thing is coming or there's some challenge, you're like, hey, I might give that a go. There's absolutely no barrier to coming back, nothing at all to prevent you from playing with your friends, and that's big. I love that about this game.
One other thing about Sea of Thieves too is like, I get that the skeletons are your enemies and the Kraken and all that kind of stuff, but where the hell is the Royal Navy? That's like the worst enemy for the fucking pirates.
Right.
Like, where are they?
The Royal India Tea Company, whatever the hell it was.
Yeah,
the
They already sunk.
The
Maybe
Royal
that's going to be
Indian.
addressed
What
later
was
on.
that? The Royal India Trading Company, right?
Yeah.
So,
That was like their biggest foe.
Yeah.
So, you're right. Maybe
That
they
was
patched at it. Maybe they patched in some ghost ships. Maybe
That'd be cool. Or like have a big world event where an armada of them come in. Like every pirate has to go attack them or something. That'd be kind of cool.
What about a big Spanish galleon loaded with gold?
Oh,
yeah.
And you have multiple people that try to attack it and stuff.
And then after you kill a Royal Navy, y'all can fight over who gets it.
Yeah.
See, that would be cool.
But at least you get your 70K for that super duper sale.
Right.
All right. So listen. So Sam, tell Craig to listen to this show because we got some good ideas here. I did tweet him. He hasn't responded because I was like, well, you know what? He can come on our show too and talk to us, and we give him all this stuff. So, Sam, let him know. Listen to the show because we got ideas for him. So, but Juan does have a point, and then we're gonna move on. I had this trouble with the Division, where Peter and Nate and Super Cooper and those guys, they're on level 30. I'm on level 12. I can't really play with them. I can't. I get there and I'm worthless. They carry me to try to level me up, but I'm literally worthless. I can't shoot
or they
anything,
have to play a lesser character.
or they have to play a lesser character. This is a game where they don't have to do that, and that is kind of cool. And that's
it's beautiful.
It speaks to the social aspect of the game, and Irrelevant Native is kind of saying that same exact thing. None of that garbage. If you don't have the Galajam max level, you can't play with us bullshit. And that is true.
It's Gallarhorn, okay?
Did he say it's Galajam, man? That does not say Gallarhorn.
It's Gallarhorn.
Well, the actual
trust
Destiny
me.
thing is Gallarhorn.
I know what the Destiny thing is, but that's not what he typed.
That's what he meant.
Okay. Well, the next time say Gallarhorn. So anyway,
I have one bug that I ran into, and just in case people run into this, at one point I had like 2 weapons in slot number 1, so I could not switch weapons. And the way I finally was able to, so I rebooted my console, restarted the game, all that jazz, got back in it, same thing. And the only way I could solve this issue was by actually dying in the game. So I just drowned myself, got on the ghost ship, respawned, and at that point it was fixed.
Awesome.
So
Good to know.
All right.
You never even you played the damn beta.
Exactly. And I felt like I played the whole game. I played the beta and I played the whole game. That was all of Destiny.
No.
That was all of Destiny.
Not accurate. Not accurate.
All right. Hearing nothing else. By the way, that was the Kraken there.
This is the Kraken.
I joined HTK's and Natty's and Fastback's game at the exact moment that the Kraken showed up and ate me.
Awesome.
Perfect.
I had no
I still
choice.
have yet to see it. I think it's because I'm in the sloop too often. I don't think I've ever seen any image or video of it attacking a sloop.
It ignores the sloops. I will tell you this because we were on a galleon. Jamie, my friend Jamie, and myself, we were trying to go find Bender because we left him on an island that we didn't know where it was. That story's in the Discord server if you want to go and look that one up because it was freaking hilarious. But we were fighting off a sloop that decided to attack us, and all of a sudden the Kraken popped up, and it's attacking us, and the sloop's attacking us. I'm like, what the hell is this?
By the way,
No.
has anybody else encountered red blood?
No.
We
blood?
did last night. The water
yeah,
had
when you-
red blood in it.
Oh, that's because you're out of bounds.
Oh yeah, the out of bounds.
Was it? Do you
Oh.
mean like all the water or just the spot? 'Cause
Just
if the
the
whole
spot.
sea turned red, you were off the map.
No, just a spot. Maybe
Oh,
it was.
just-
Maybe we were headed out of bounds. Huh.
Well, there was a rhyme in the loading screen that said something about Merc on the water, meet the crewmate slain below, or something like that.
We should have dove in.
Definitely dove that.
Deadpool tie-in.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Switching gears because it is 11:47. I apologize to everybody. This time it wasn't my fault. Well, let's
That's okay,
get.
this is worth it.
Yeah, this really was. Let's get to my favorite segment of all. And what could be one of my most favorite retro wrecks we've had yet. By the way, I'm now texting Rick because he's saying, "Sea of Thieves?" So you know I'm podcasting right now.
Well, he knows you're also probably supposed to be done by now.
Well, this is true.
Why isn't he watching? Tell him.
Yeah.
Tell
Yeah,
him
that's what
Why
it really needs to be
aren't
done.
you watching?
Tell him it's retro rack time.
Some serious speed running.
Right.
All right. Let's bring it up. I have not watched this, by the way,
Cool.
but I remember it all too well.
Mm.
Yep. So I'm ready whenever you are.
Okay.
And so this week's retro is obviously Project Gotham Racing 2 was the Xbox rotation, was its turn in the barrel, if you will. And so wanted to go back and hit this one up. It's a kind of a gem, kind of a much loved, if you will, retro. Created by Bizarre Creations, and forgive me, I have lost my notes.
Well, that's a first.
Yeah. Hang in there just a moment. I thought I was ready, but I guess I really wasn't.
You need to pause for a sec?
Yeah, nope, we're good. So, yeah, it was 2003 that it was released, created by Bizarre Creations, who were founded in 1988 in Liverpool, England. Originally, they were called Raising Hell, Raising Hell Software, but the name was actually scorned by Sony, and so they went nameless for a while. Later, they were making a submission to Psygnosis / Sony, and it forced them to choose a new name. At first, they had suggested Weird Concepts, but that was eventually evolved into Bizarre Creations, which is what stuck. They're best known for the racing titles, Metropolis Street Racer, which I believe was a Dreamcast title, and the Project Gotham series on the Xbox and the 360. Also known for the Geometry Wars series of arcade shooter games. They were acquired by Activision in 2007 for $107 million, and they published PGR 4 for the 360 as the last game for MS Studios there. They were closed by Activision in 2010, with Activision having not pursued the rights to the PGR franchise. So that's something Microsoft still has, and I would really like to see one come back. It was published by Microsoft Game Studios, as it was called then, which was established in 2002 alongside the Xbox, basically, a little after. They're the video game production and publishing wing of Microsoft. They were rebranded to Microsoft Studios in 2011, famous for, Forza Halo Gears. Ha ha ha. Also, though, for Age of Empires, Microsoft Flight Simulator, Crackdown, Banjo-Kazooie, and Perfect Dark. So what we're looking at here is we're in the garage. This is in the single-player Kudos World mode, which is like a career mode. And I've chosen a Sport Compact category, and then I wanted to look at cars to choose which one, and I kind of wandered over the Geometry Wars machine, and it works. You can actually play Geometry Wars in the garage from Project Gotham 2. So that's pretty cool, because this is a kind of fun little twin-stick shooter. And I messed around with it just a little bit and suicided so I can get back to the work of the retro here. But I just had to show off the Easter egg of Geometry Wars in the game. But in the garage, you can kind of walk around. It's almost like a Forza Vista kind of thing. A little less detailed on the cars, obviously. But you can change the colors of the car. And when you launch it from here, you can choose whether you want a manual or an automatic. But it's kind of a nice touch. I do like the ability to see all the cars that are eligible in the race, and you can walk around and check them out. And then you got your racing action, and it's pretty standard, standard arcades type racing. It wasn't really a deep sim, and has a pretty cool soundtrack. Every city has its own radio station, and it kind of opens with the DJ radio introduction to the city.
Stocktown Radio.
Stocktown. But yeah, so then we got our Focus, it's the Ford guy, and it's free Forza motor sound effects. Like where all racing games have like basically the same sounding motors, but if you get past that, it's pretty cool. The action, the AI is not too bad for its age. There's no like damage on collision, so that's a kind of a limitation of it. But I think the city's pretty when you go through it. They have a lot of detail for its day in the city, and it runs really well. So it's a really enjoyable thing. As you're racing, you get Kudos points. That's the Kudos part of the Kudos World Series. You get points for drafting, for drifting, sliding, and running racing lines well. Those Kudos points and coins are how you buy cars. You start with 3 cars in the game, and that's how you earn more cars. But when you start a race, there's various levels from starter, where you get steel medal, all the way up to the expert challenge, the platinum medal for winning. I didn't mention I was talking at the time or trying to find my notes, but coming into the video here, there was a section where I showed my profile. I'm proud to say I still have the say with every medal you can get in single player mode on the Kudos World Challenge, all platinumed out. So that's pretty awesome. So yeah, you make your Kudos, you get new cars, then you can go up the ladder on different types of cars and see different challenges. Challenges include the circuit race, like you saw there, one-on-one circuit races, drag races, and cone challenges, which we're going to see here. I've moved it up to the, I think it's a classic class, if I remember right, classics or call it classics, whatever. I'm going to hop in a Ferrari 250 GTO, and of course, I don't know why I was messing around. You got to pick red, right? But this is going to be a cone challenge, a Kudos challenge. And basically, you're running through the cones for time, but if you miss a gate, you lose your Kudos chain, and you have to make a certain amount of Kudos by the end of the run, or you have to start over. On the high levels, it gets really tough. Like you can't just even if you ran it perfectly, you can't just run it. There'll be places where the gates are too far apart, and if you don't maybe throw in a drift there, you'll drop your kudos chain and you can't make the platinum medal. So it's really tough. In fact, I must have been much better at it back in the day than my RS is now, because in this video, the yellow ghost from my run however many years ago passes me up, and I never catch that thing. So I must have been much more practiced back then. But you got the kudos career mode in single player mode. You've got the arcade challenges, which are kind of similar, although it's fixed for the car and there's less of them. And then you've got the time attack mode, which is basically your standard time trialing. It also had multiplayer. You could do quick battles locally or on Xbox Live. Unlike most Xbox Live titles of the time, your rank didn't have like the true skill rank thing going on. Your rank was just your kudos score, so it always went up. You never went down in rank, and so it was never really an indication of whether the guys you're going to be racing were awesome or just how many kudos they had. The multiplayer, I've spent a ton of time in the multiplayer on this. I just enjoyed the hell out of it. And I did a whole lot of the hot lapping, which is your rivals mode here. Although it was more just like leaderboards, you didn't really get the cars to race against the ghost mode like you did in Rivals on Forza. There were 2 DLCs that were released for the game, both in 2004. The Paris Booster Pack added 8 cars and 7 tracks around the Paris region. The Long Beach Booster Pack added 8 more cars and 8 more tracks all around Long Beach, California.
Did you say Juan Beach?
Yes, Long Beach.
Okay, cool.
The next part here that's loading up is the showroom, which again is kind of a cool feature. A little less detail again than say like your Forza Vista for the car, but this is your car collection, and I think it's kind of a cool way to view it. There's a virtual showroom, and I imagine something like this in like VR would be cool too, right? But basically the showroom has it all separated by manufacturer, and then there's a couple lobbies too for the DLC cars. Like this is from the Long Beach pack. But you can go through and you can see which cars you've got. You can buy them from there, how many kudos tokens you need to get them. But I thought it was just kind of a cool way to do the purchase in the car as opposed to just a menu. Mm-hmm. And it's got a little music that plays and such. And so, I thought it was really slick for its day. Playing on console wasn't really all that. Online wasn't really all that. It was kind of still a new thing back in 2003, and. Really, I vegged out on this just as hard as I did Crimson Skies on Xbox Live. Its reception was, Metacritic says it was received universal acclaim. It runs a 90 on Metacritic. Famitsu gave it a 32 out of 40, which is doing pretty good for Xbox with them. That's not too bad. It's readily available now for anyone who wants to throw it in the retro collection. eBay had a ton of copies for less than $10. I picked it up for $4.99 at a local retailer, and if you want some, obviously the Xbox Live features are dead. There's no setting new leaderboard times. There's no multiplayer online because those servers are toast. But it's actually a really worthwhile single player campaign to go through and do those challenges and check out the cars if you want to check out some older racing. So that is why it is this week's retro recommendation.
Very nice.
I hope they make these BC.
Yeah, if that goes OGBC, that'll be sweet. I would love to see that with a little bit of 4K loving, to just kind of sharpen up the edges, and I would do that. I would do that for sure.
One day you'll add all the reviews to your
Lay it on me.
Let's see if it shows up. There we go. And this was 2003.
Yep. 15 years ago, this game. How crazy is that?
It would be a 95 out of 100. I said that this was the racing game of the year. And I meant it then, and I would mean it still today, stacked up against any of the racing games that came out that year. So, and was the reason to have Xbox Live.
Yeah.
So, I Project Gotham Racing was probably my favorite racing genre game next to probably next to anything else. And when 3 came out for the Xbox 360, I was at a launch event in New York with Dan Comer, one of my writers, and we sat down and played 3, and I was done. It was like amazing. So
Yep.
great retro rec. That one hits the heart. I always love when you bring up the ones that I reviewed so many years ago.
Yeah, no, it's completely worthwhile to have in your collection. Like I said, if I were stuck on an island and I didn't have something new to play, it would be no hardship at all for me to play through the single player campaign on this again.
Nice. All right. So that's this week's retro recommendation. Thank you as always, Juan. And all right, so now that it's midnight and we have just about gone 3 hours for the first time in a very long time, we're going to wrap this up very short order. Does anybody have anything else of note that they would like to bring up before we roll?
Far Cry 5.
Yes, Far Cry 5 comes tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So
We had a sweet Sea of Thieves discussion on the Short Pause show this week. I think that just went up a couple hours ago. If you want to check that out.
Definitely check that out.
yes, after this one. And when you're done with this one, after this one, go. So, and hello, Frankie's kitty. So, Governor, we want to thank you, man. Console Corner represent tonight, and one of these nights, one of us will hopefully get out to visit with you guys.
Absolutely.
That is on my bucket list, is to be on Console Corner, actually.
Oh, we could definitely make that happen.
So once again, give us a quick scoop when you come on. What's it all about? Take us out.
What's up, everybody? I'm the Governor, if you haven't known already. You can find me on Twitter at its_the_gov. I'm part of the Console Corner podcast. I co-host with a bunch of other great people. Big shout out to She-Wolf, Destro, Sith, Brutal, Magic Mike, all you guys. Love you guys. Love the community. It was an absolute pleasure to be on the NLG podcast. It was a great time, great conversations. Everybody is top notch on here, and I really appreciate it. Love you guys. Thank you so much.
We appreciate.
Open door, right, guys?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, anytime you
Anytime.
need anything.
Yeah,
I'll
we
be
were.
here.
I only have one question. Did you have to name She-Wolf first?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't want a frying pan in my face. Or,
What, human PUBG? In real life?
Hey,
Pretty
winner,
much.
chicken dinner.
Yeah. So,
Nate, marriage is a wonderful thing.
Oh,
yeah, you'll figure that out. You'll figure that out. So yeah, man, thank you so much for coming on, man. You really, you're one of the goods, and
Appreciate it.
I definitely appreciate you wanting to be on with us tonight and anytime, man, anytime. So
all right, now you remember, you all said that. So when I'm here like every week, I don't want to hear anything about it. Just kidding. Just kidding.
yeah. Well, look, I already got the layout. So yeah. So anyway, everybody, thank you so much, panel. Anything else? Peter, Juan, Nate, Frankie.
No, just game on. Have fun.
Far Cry 5. Yes, we will be discussing Far Cry 5 next week. I am quite sure. So, and next week's movie for you too, right?
Yeah, and Randall Thor just tweeted that Far Cry 5 could win Game of the Year for him, so I'm really excited.
Oh, the bar is set.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Nate, you know what else could win Game of the Year for you?
Monster Hunter.
Yep.
So Banner Saga 3.
Yeah, that too. I know that's like on the top of Peter's anticipated game list.
Project Gotham Racing 5.
Can't say I blame you, man. It's a great series.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
pretty sure it is.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, hold on. Rick texted me back. Yeah. Look. Totally forgot. Totally forgot we were on the air. Okay.
How can he forget? He liked my tweet. That's a short-term memory right there.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. All right. That's going to be worth some that's worth some blackmail right there. All right, guys. Chat room. You guys were fantastic tonight. Absolutely crushed it. I want to thank everybody, including we had some new folks in tonight. Hopefully you enjoyed the show, and we'll come back again. We are on Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And, of course, if you're watching this later on, come hang out in our chat room. You see the good people that are in the chat room, and you see what we do. Come be part of the show. Who is echoing?
Probably me.
Probably you. Dude. I give up, man. All right. This is as good a time as any. It's always you. It's a good a time as any to get on out of here. Everybody, thank you so much. Governor, once again, thank you so much, man. We will see you soon.
Amen.
And have a great week, everybody. Far Cry coming up. Play on, gamers.
Game on.
Positivity is also honesty.